Say it in common. Say it in common.
You're listening to Say It in Common with the Commoners of D&D. I'm AJ Cannon.
Tyrel Merle.
Anthony Tate.
Yeah. No Seth. This is the first time ever that Seth's not been on Say It in Common, but that's okay. And I did announce to the people.
I saw that commercial.
Hold on. You can keep talking.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I saw your ad on the Facebooks.
Yeah. So for any of y'all that didn't see that or listen to my little announcement on the podcast channel, we did it's just tragic, but Seth and Cynthia have COVID. Also, Kyle and his wife have COVID.
They're exposed. They've been
at least exposed. Yeah. I was really hoping Kyle was going to be here. I was like, it's going to be fire if Kyle's here.
Oh man, I know.
So anyway, we're not going to be playing D&D for a few weeks. Probably till after Christmas.
For the rest of the month.
Yeah. Till after Christmas. So, we'll be doing some other stuff. We'll get those 5th edition face-offs out there. Plus, also, Tiger Skull RPG. This show, as always, is brought to you by Tiger Skull RPG. Why don't you tell us about it, Anthony?
Well, listen, AJ. If you go to TigerSkullRPG.com, of course, you can view the full array of their products. And if you go to buy something on Tiger Skull RPG, I don't know if you know about this, Tyrel, but you type in the code, all caps, by the way, Commoners15, it can get you 15% off on all STL files, which that means any printables.
Right.
Anything that you print off, your miniatures. I mean, that's a heck of a deal. And the thing is, you could also become a patron to our friends at Tiger Skull RPG. You can get exclusives. You can get early access to some of their products. I mean, it's just a quality product.
It really is.
It's dare I say, the best merch in D&D. I'd say it.
I mean, I think so. I mean, if we're talking about as far as a subscription plan for
as it goes,
monthly encounters,
they're the bomb.
Complete with 5e stats, digital illustrations,
backstories.
Yeah, loot drops. It's the best you're going to find in the game.
Why not? Why don't you give it a shot?
Why would you not?
$1 a month, even.
Yeah, get started for $1 a month.
Yeah, scratch together all those pennies that fell in your couch. Give them as many pennies in your couch as you can find. See what that'll get you. Guaranteed, it'll buy you a quality product.
Very good. Also, check them out at Instagram at Tiger Skull RPG. Check us out on Instagram as well at the Commoners Official. Send us a DM. We'd love to chat with you. Anyway, okay, so jumping in, we're going to do Keeping It Common. First of all, I want to ask Tyrel a question, though.
Okay.
Anthony obviously doesn't play on the Tiger Skull game.
Okay.
But, okay, the next episode, which we haven't done yet, we're going to expound on this more. But I just want to ask, what the heck were y'all doing?
We were trying to get out of there. I think we were all trying to get out of there as peaceably as possible.
It sure didn't look like it.
Well, it ended up being a huge escapade of just, I don't know, it went horribly awry, I guess, in comparison to what we were trying to do.
I was like, okay, they're just going to go in here, they're going to ask a few questions, and people, it's not going to be what they think quite, and then they're going to go, okay, we got to do something else, and they're going to leave. No, we're going to go straight to the president's office, and we're going to start cutting people up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
they went into one of the most secure places in this world that we're playing in, and went straight to the CEO of this large bank and started threatening him with accusations and had no evidence of anything.
If I was in on this game, that would have never happened.
I know.
I would have talked my way through that.
You were going to be the face.
I know.
You're going to play the bard.
Tell me, was this
after? No, you were thinking Warlock, possibly.
No, I was getting towards bard. I mean, it was just.
It would have been so good.
College of Eloquence.
Huh?
That's a College of Eloquence.
I mean, sure, whatever that is. Okay, you and your unearthed
it's like
arcana.
Speechcraft. It's a speechcraft bard.
I got you. So, tell me, was this before or after Tyrel cut his hair?
It would have been before. Oh, that we did the podcast.
No,
Right after.
I think it was after.
right,
Yeah,
that's why. Tyrell's hair got chopped off,
What?
and
everything
changed.
everything changed. Tyrell is an edgelord now.
I don't. Well, Seth always wants to blame me for like me being too specific about what I want, like what I'm wanting them to do. Wasn't that at all? Because I didn't go in with a plan, but I thought I did not plan for anybody in that bank to know this deeper story that was going on, and there were very few people that were involved, and they weren't really going to be able to talk to any of them. And I thought when they're talking to people and nobody knows what they're talking about, nobody knows what they're asking them, that it's going to like, okay, we got to regroup. No, didn't happen. They just upped the ante.
They started interrogating.
Yeah, and accusing. Well, Tyrell threw a fit. Well, his character threw a fit, and asked for the manager.
He went full Karen.
He did.
Wrong haircut style, Tyrell.
He went full Karen and said, "I want to see the manager."
So wait, is this like a criminal operation that they're investigating, or?
Yeah, there's these counterfeit coins that have been circulating around the island, and the governor sent one of his investigators to work with it. They just work for a company,
Right.
like I was telling you in the beginning. They all work for the company, but they're these specialists. Well, they've been getting a lot done for the owner of the company they work for, and the governor knows that he's got some powerful people working for him. So he sends his investigator down to say, "Hey, can y'all help me solve this case?" Because they found these counterfeit coins to begin with,
Yeah.
and it started the whole thing. Well, it turns out this investigator's been on the case the whole time, and now he finds out that they know something about it. So they're going to pool the resources. The governor and Lord Marquis are going to put these things together,
Yeah.
and they just like, no, we'll handle it ourselves and leave the investigator guy there and take off into this bank.
I was all for him joining us, just for the record.
I think where we jumped off was that I made it seem like the only options were y'all either talking to people or like sneaking in a barrel.
Yeah.
Here's what
That wouldn't have been a great option either, but it probably would have been better what y'all did. I just thought y'all were going to look around and I was going to give you some information and y'all didn't look for it.
From my past experience with Seth, if you try to put any kind of if you try to put him in any kind of railroad situation, not that I was trying to, but sometimes it happened that way just because first time DM stuff, you know, he will wiggle out of it as quick as you can think.
Yeah, and it wasn't I was going to let them do whatever they wanted because I just thought they were going to be like, okay, let's go talk to some people. Let's ask around. Y'all didn't even ask the investigator dude what he knew. He kind of gave you what he knew. You didn't ask him for any kind of resources that he had. Hey, is there somebody that you know, anything like that? No kind of connections. Y'all didn't look for a better way into the bank. You walked through the front door with the counterfeit coins.
Well, we were trying to get
flashing them.
we were trying to get to the bottom of it as quickly as possible, I think.
Yeah,
so.
you were.
No one at the bottom, at the face of a criminal organization, is going to know anything that's going on. They think it's legit.
Yeah. Well, inside,
whether or not it's criminal.
Inside that bank, there was about 3 people that knew what was going on. And they located 2 of them pretty quick, but it was after they had already made a scene. I mean, it was going to be bad. Mm-hmm. It was just going to be bad.
It would have been cool to have, the opening scene of The Dark Knight. When it shows in this bank, and then they start robbing it, and the manager or president or whatever comes out with the shotgun. He goes, "Do you have any idea whose money you're stealing? You have any idea?"
Is that when the Joker and all his guys are in there? Yeah, that is a great scene.
Yeah, I mean, you could have played it out like that.
Yeah, I could have.
Do you have any idea whose men you're interrogating here? Ah!
That's basically what happened, except the guy he didn't have, a New York accent.
He could have.
He could have. I can't do it, though, like you do. So, Ty, anyway, it was a good try. I'm just wondering what you think y'all are going to do now. So, Anthony, what happened was they started a fight in the office with the president, his right-hand man, and a couple guards. They locked the door. The guards couldn't get in to come help. They end up busting out, run out of the bank, run into the streets, dip down into a sewer. That was where the episode ended. Go ahead, Tyrel.
I was just going to say, just for the record to everybody listening out there, is my mistake on mending on that cantrip was that I thought it was an instantaneous thing. It is actually a full minute of casting. So
Okay, it's okay because it probably wouldn't have. I mean, I was really trying to. I would have. I mean, I would have definitely killed y'all in there if y'all hadn't got out. So I was trying to give you the option. He made a really good play. He'd put an arcane lock on the door, and I mean, I would think that inside the super secure bank, all the doors are probably pretty strong. So they were trying to break into it and they couldn't. So
like the time
Smart
that they
play.
cracked it, I was casting mending on it, and I looked at mending and I was like, okay, it says instantaneous, but that's the duration, not the casting time. So,
Plus, I was rolling to see if they could break the door, and they were rolling bad. I mean, I would assume it was pretty high DC, and they were rolling like single digits. It's like, well, they've got it. They can be in here as long as they want.
Yeah.
But they busted out, holding the president and his assistant in a hostage situation. You know, walking out at gunpoint, that kind of thing.
You immediately
And,
turned into the bad guys.
They did very fast.
I mean, my character is kind of a pretty obvious looking thing.
This is Miami Vice. That's what this is.
But they got into a sewer, so I'm just wondering, Tyrell, what's the next play? What do you think? I know what I'm thinking. So even if y'all don't have anything, I'm going to be able to help y'all. But go ahead.
I honestly don't know. I mean, we're trying to get him back to Lord Marquis, I guess.
Yeah.
So for interrogation and whatnot, just like we did the other guy, what's his name?
Hector.
Hector. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's going to be our goal. But as far as getting out of this town without being arrested or spotted by whoever's in this place, I don't think that's going to be an easy thing to do.
Yeah. You've made a mistake. It's okay. We'll see. Anyway, okay. What I want to do about our actual campaign, the Commoners game, is first of all, I wanted to ask each of you, like, we'll start with Tyrell. Okay, think all the way back to Session 0, Episode 1. What is different about Thren now, 19 episodes later? 19 episodes later. What has changed about his mind? Not just like abilities, like his mindset about the world. Just him as a person. What's changed?
Well, I mean, I don't really know. Like, as far as like,
is he developing any kind of flaws or ideals?
I think when at first, especially whenever he saw that Solaris wasn't there to guard the town or our hometown, like my first thought was like, wow, he's deserted us, this guy who trained him, who was like his mentor, like throughout his entire younger life or whatever, has literally deserted him and the town and just left everybody to die.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess trusting people now for him is kind of a little harder to do, I suppose.
And I guess it was a bit of a relief to know that he was trying to help at least get people out.
Yeah.
What about skill wise? What's he focused on?
I think learning as much magic as possible for him is like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always, if you notice, like constantly I'm trying to figure out like new ways of getting new spells and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And role playing it in, I like that too. That's cool.
I've tried to add. That's the reason I asked Seth. I think it was like either a session before last or last session about like that book on like physics and stuff like that. You guys were making fun of me for it, but the reason I did that is because I wanted to work some of the spells from Matt Mercer's book in there because they're all focused on like singularities and stuff like that. So
Okay, yeah, that's cool. All right, Anthony, same question to you. How has Buck's worldview changed, or just anything about him, really?
In all honesty, I mean, I just now heard you ask this question. Okay, I hadn't thought about this before.
This was not.
But I mean, the first thing that popped into my mind is like his whole faith. You know, his faith in people, his faith in the gods. I mean, it's not that he's faithless, but his faith is really being challenged.
Right.
You know, so like, of course, he lived in a small town, and he was just like, you know, he trusted everybody, and I mean, much the same way that Thryn is dealing with trusting people. You know, it's hard. Whenever I'm role playing as Buck, it's hard for me to believe everything that someone is saying.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because it's just like, what position am I in right now?
Right.
And then also, like, I mean, before it was, you know, every morning Buck would get up and pray. Now he's just being bombarded with thing after thing after thing. So it's just like, yeah, prayer is important, but like, you know, it's not like a ritual that he does every morning anymore.
So you were praying before you had a God. That was part of your character.
It was just like, you know, Buck believes.
Yeah, I remember that in like your intro.
Yeah,
as your character.
Buck believed that they were out there. They could hear him. That it was just like a, you know, they're there, but they're, you know, not really. They're not doing much.
Yeah,
and they don't have to because they're gods. You know.
So maybe your faith in people has decreased and your faith in gods has increased because you do have one talking to you directly.
Well, that's the thing. The faith in the God has increased, but it's almost like this whole, okay, now that she's talking to me, I don't have to talk to her as much.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like the faith is there, but the practice isn't.
Right. Okay.
You know, where that needs to change for Buck. And he knows it. You know, he knows he needs to be a little more faithful. He needs to start following these tenets of his faith.
Yeah.
You know, being a light, being loved, being trustworthy, being trusting, you know, giving people a chance. And, you know, after going through several of these battles and you know, trying to kill people, going through the academy and trying to come out on top. I mean, it's just like PTSD, Buck, you know, it's just like, okay, how am I going to kill this guy?
Yeah.
You know,
I'd say for Quincy, yeah. And it's funny, 'cause, I mean, I knew it would all come up, that we all kind of had the same thing, but just like trust. Like, I feel like we went from being in a world where we were like kind of sheltered, like, okay, Hollyhead's like all we know. Everything we need is here. Kind of like living in Drasco. Like, I mean, you could pretty much stay here and not know what was going on in the outside world if you didn't want to. And we're living in our bubble, and all of a sudden these dudes come in from the outside that Quincy like was like fired up to see them, because he's like, you know, he's reading books about heroes and singing songs about heroes. Oh, here come some guys that are like, these are the guys. And then they ruin our lives in a matter of a day. And I mean, when your whole life turns upside down like that, well, okay, everything that I knew is now gone, and I can see that people aren't trustworthy, even people that are supposed to be noble heroes. And now we're going to go, you know, to Derry, or we go to Juniper Grove, and we see people, you know, Millicent. We thought we were afraid to trust her.
I was going to bring her up here a second, because we're talking about trusting people. None of us trusted Millicent.
Right, and Seth, as a DM, does not give us any reason to trust anybody. I don't know if we should trust Dalinar as AJ. I feel like Quincy trusts him. But I don't know why he would either.
Well, the thing is,
I trust, like, Quincy trusts his friends. And that's not even
and
Oren.
I think that's what's coming to it is our characters equally don't, we trust that we don't trust what's going on, but we trust each other. Right.
We're learning that the only thing we can really trust is each other.
Right.
The power of friendship.
So, I mean, but that's the thing. You stressed an important point there. Buck doesn't know if he can trust Dalinar either, but there's been no reason technically to not trust him. Yeah. And in fact, I mean, to give what's Foghorn Leghorn's name?
Jike.
Jike. to give Duke Jike a chance. I mean, hey, that's an exciting prospect for somebody who's supposed to be spreading positivity into the world. It's like, oh wow, even the most irredeemable is being redeemed right now. Yeah. But it's just like they're in on it together. Yeah. Anthony's saying that. Anthony's like, oh, they're gonna flip the tables on us.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Maybe not. I don't know. I think Seth's trying to sprinkle in people that are supposed to help us, but he's given us so many people to be afraid of. It's like
I'm definitely wondering about this Gorma character now.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah, that's going to be a whole.
and also the third one that we don't know who is. Or
Yeah, don't even know who that is.
Sissy? Is that
Sissy is what she called her. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
That's-
I was not ready for that. Great episode.
So we have a coven
expect
of
it.
hags
yeah,
here. That's great.
which could be very powerful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Together.
And technically, but that was what we said. It's like we were saying they're on their own side. So it's not like we want to be with them, but we definitely don't want to be against them. But they've got their own set of ideals. We don't know what they're trying to do. So, and Millicent told us to stay away from them.
This will be like a Dragon Age game or a like Fallout where you go and gather up different factions, even though you might not agree with the particular factions, ideals or their political side or whatever, but you still use them because they're going along in the same
Exactly.
line.
I mean, that's
as-
the thing. The stage is set here for when the government is overthrown. There's going to be several factions. Like the hags are going to have their own like sphere of influence off in the woods somewhere where they can't be bothered.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like a politically protected area.
Right.
Like if you go here, you will die by government ordinance.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. He's doing some very particularly interesting world building.
Yes. I agree completely.
With Gorma summoning demons, and apparently she can summon many of them, a lot.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what that's going to evolve into.
And apparently
eventually.
Millicent can do it too, or at least they're at her command. I don't know if she summoned them.
Yeah.
She's a green hag. I don't know.
She's a green one,
She's a green one. That's what,
and Gorma would be a what?
I don't know. I don't know what. I thought she was a night hag, but that's not what she is.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay, so we might have talked about that. I know we didn't talk about it on a podcast, but we might have talked about it just with each other. Like what? In Juniper Grove, there's this undead uprising from the grave thing. Were one of the hags? Is that Gorma doing that? She was doing that, not the demons.
No. She summoned the demon. The demon raised the dead.
Yeah.
In order to get Millicent's attention.
Yeah.
In order to get her to say, hey, listen, I don't care what kind of thing you got going on here. You don't come with us, we're going to get rid of all of it.
Okay, that was what. Yeah, and that's why I don't trust Millicent. Like she could have left and spared a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
And I don't know that she's necessarily like I'm not saying she's bad because she didn't, but because she was trying to help.
Indifferent,
and stuff.
maybe.
But yeah, at the same time, it's just like because of the situation you're in, you come in here and endanger all these people, and then you don't leave and take responsibility for it.
She was the reason a lot of them lived too,
That is
because
true.
of that poultice stuff.
Yeah, that
She
is
was the healer.
What if Gorma is a Baba Yaga type figure?
I don't know what that is.
Baba Yaga is a Russian folk story about a witch. She lived out in the woods in a cabin that had chicken legs.
The cabin had chicken legs.
Okay, well, to tell you one thing, Tasha is actually Baba Yaga's daughter. Apparently, it turns out. And
This is from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything,
Yeah.
the new D&D book that we have. We've been looking over for the past few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a plug, but Tyrel bought it. So we're looking at it. Anyway, go ahead, Ty.
anyway, but in like D&D lore, she's actually in there too. And also in I think in Cobble Press's stuff too. She's in there.
And this is the same Tasha as Tasha's Hideous Laughter,
Yep.
right? Okay.
She's also got a couple of new spells in there too.
So she's Baba Yaga's daughter.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay. And Baba Yaga has a cabin with chicken legs.
Yeah, but she's a very, very powerful witch, though.
I mean, very old folklore
Yeah.
about Baba Yaga.
So D&D is merging folklore with...
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
and
a
they've
lot
been
of-
doing
lot
that
of-
since the
Okay,
beginning.
yeah. But
A lot of the creatures, like Ettercap, the Ettercap is like a humanoidish spider type thing. It's like I think an old English word for poison, like Etter is.
no.
Ettercap.
I mean, they every creature in the D&D lore is based on some some manner of folklore.
Right.
The Baylor is actually taken from Lord of the Rings, actually from the Balrog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? It's the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, they just pull from all over and
Oh yeah,
put it
absolutely.
together. It's pretty.
Actually, I think Tolkien and Gary Gygax had not Tolkien directly, but like the Tolkien estate and Gary Gygax had a huge disagreement going on there for a while back, like in the 80s, I think.
I'm sure.
Because they were stealing each other's stuff.
Well,
Or-
Tolkien never. Tolkien stuff has been long
D&D
published.
was.
Yeah.
Gary Gygax was.
I mean, like for instance, they can't use the word Hobbit in there; they have to use
have to use
halfling. Orc is a thing that's been around forever, so I mean, you couldn't really do anything about that.
Goblin the same.
Yeah, Goblin's the
Goblin
same.
is from folklore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Goblins are
but
goblins.
Hobbit is they actually used that at one point back in the day, and then they got in trouble for
It's
it. and had to-
specifically Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
Hobbit is.
so they use halfling and stuff. Yep.
Shire folk.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. I thought of this one while we was talking. Favorite episode so far, Tyrel?
I don't know. I don't know what my favorite episode would be. I like them all. They're all mine so far. But,
Something that stands out.
I'll tell you the most. I don't know if it'd be my favorite, but it was definitely the one that had the biggest impact on me. Was when I watched everything get destroyed that we loved.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely wasn't my favorite episode.
No, that was the opposite of my favorite.
That's what I said. I said I don't know if it'd be my favorite, but it's the one that definitely had the biggest impact.
That one in
on
episode
me.
1. Those are the...
My favorite, 100%, without a doubt, is the Prison Break episode. 100%.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Everything turned around, and like I can't remember if we were rolling really well that night, but it seemed like we were. Everything just worked out perfect.
Yeah.
We were poised to just absolutely take over everything, and then it was like, okay, we're gonna have to go up against Gillard, and then like he turns coat, and it's like, oh, whoa, wow.
I was sure hoping he was going to be good.
I
didn't
know.
how he could be, though.
Nobody wanted.
I wanted to turn him. I didn't want to kill Dustin. That would have been terrible. But for me, I like in between episodes so much. Like when story development doesn't happen, I mean those are great, but like one that always sticks out of my mind is one of my favorite ones is was the circus one where we got Twinell this bears back. Because Cynthia played and it was hilarious. We laughed so much. Everything went well. We did good and like
You decapitated like 6 people.
yeah, and that was a funny one. Oh, that was fun.
In self-defense.
In self.
Yeah, in self-defense.
Let's walk up into this person's house.
Yeah.
But no, I get it. No.
The Wendigo episode was fun, or leading up to that anyway, because we were selling books and playing songs. That one was
Yeah,
great.
that was really
All-
fun
the
for
whole
character
dairy-
development.
yeah.
It wasn't necessarily story development, but character development. It
And-
kind of reminded me. I don't know if you guys have watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, but there's this episode, and it is a fan favorite. If it's not critically acclaimed, it is a fan favorite. It's called Tales from Ba Sing Se, and it goes through these 3 separate stories of these of characters that are involved, and it's just like it develops the character, but it doesn't further the plot, and it's some of the most beautiful storytelling. And it just like that scene, when we were selling books and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what that reminded me of, is Tales from Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, that was a great episode. Oh, the whole dairy section was fun until the dudes showed up and we had to fight, and that it was pretty dark.
You
then.
get to remove like a large portion of his hair and
Yeah.
Oh man,
scrape his face
that
up
was
pretty good.
that was when it all went.
that
down.
was a satisfying
yeah,
one though.
for sure.
Who scratched his face?
You.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I tore his
pushed him-
hair.
I pushed him down the ground.
Right,
Yeah.
and I just like cut his hair.
Yeah. Well, you scraped it where you kind of cut his face a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so.
Raked that little hide off.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought somebody said they came up and just cut his face a little.
That may have been Oren, actually.
I thought he was shooting.
Yeah, he was shooting. He was shooting at the rogue.
Oh,
Might have been.
that wasn't
Fun
me.
fact. For some reason, I think that rogue has something to do with me, Quincy. I don't know why I have that feeling.
This is all speculation, of course.
It's all complete speculation, but I haven't been wrong about anything yet. I've got some other speculations too that I haven't revealed.
I know. We talked about this last time I was on Satan Comics.
When I I mean, I've heard these episodes so much.
Yeah.
And there's things that I pick up, I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice that the first time. Like Seth kind of dropping a little, something. But,
Halfling, just like you.
well, yeah, first of all, she's a halfling. There was something else. And then when they fled away from the fight, Seth specifically mentioned that she, like, made eye contact with me. For a second before they like ran out the gate.
I remember him saying that. Yeah,
I don't know, maybe long lost sister, mom. I don't know. Got to be something. Cousin. I don't know. It's gonna be. We haven't really gotten into Quincy's story yet. Of course, we're not really in anybody's story specifically.
Not necessarily.
it's been coming in bits, I guess, at a time.
Yeah, it's kind of just
little
our
character
story.
development for
Rask.
No, not. Oh, well, Rask, of course. But before that,
Yeah, we did have some Urist. Yeah,
why can't I?
We had
never
Urist
remember
because
Urist?
we were in his town and the stuff about his mom and stuff.
Yeah.
And that just kind of went away. And then we're in Rask's hometown right now, and now he's getting to get his big tattoos and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then Buck is constantly talking to this god.
Yeah.
Like that's his thing. But yeah, the rest of it's just kind of. It's our story for now. Nothing specific for me yet, or Thren really. I mean, you're sprinkled in because Solaris is here now. Plus, you got to have your conversation with Duke Jake. So that was.
I figure we'll go to the Deadlands at some point.
Yeah, we'll end up there.
And he's going to be. That's when his story's going to be developed.
Probably.
And then we'll go to. Where did you
The
come?
Veiled Coast.
Yeah, the Veiled Coast, and that's where you'll kind of get development.
Yeah, I'll know some people there and stuff. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Seth's got his work cut out for him.
Oh man, he can handle
I'm
it.
excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun when we get to play in 2 months.
I am super excited
in 2021
because of the errata for my class, my subclass.
The what?
The errata for my subclass. No. It's called.
I'm giving Tyrel a low brow. If you guys don't, like, what? Errata.
Yeah, errata.
Are you trying to?
That sounds X-rated.
No, it's not.
That's HBO late night.
Okay. So, you know how the Blade Singer, how they have extra attack at 6th level? I think
Sure.
I've told you all about that.
Yeah, sure.
The new version of that allows you to actually cast a cantrip with part of your extra attack. Instead of, you can replace one of your attacks with a cantrip.
Which class is this for?
The
Blade Singer?
Yep. That's part of the new
Oh,
thing.
so you get to be OP a little bit.
Well, wait. If you cast a spell, can you cast a cantrip under normal circumstances?
Well, like, okay, normally with extra attack you couldn't do that, but with this particular class you can, because that's in there.
Right, but I mean, yeah, that's what I was kind of trying to hint at. Is like normally you can't cast 2 spells in 1 round.
No. You can't do 2. You can only do 1. You can do 1 and a swing.
Okay,
So
can you do that? Is that does the same thing apply to a spell and a cantrip? Can you cast a spell and a cantrip under normal circumstances in the same round?
No. It won't work like that.
Right.
Like, you have to do a actual, like, sword attack.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's just like a cantrip. But one thing I thought about pairing it with is one of Matt Mercer's spells called Sapping Sting. And they have to make a Constitution saving throw. It's like a D4 of damage. But if they don't make the Constitution saving throw, they fall prone. And then I have advantage on the next attack.
So long as they attack before you, that would work out well. If you attack, you'd have to pick your battles, because if they attack after you, they could just stand up. Wait, no. Yeah.
I mean, if they're prone, they have disadvantage on the swing. If I can back up or whatever.
Well,
So-
I mean, if they just decided I'm going to use half my movement to stand up,
yeah.
But I mean, it could be that would be the case in any case. So never mind. I'm just in.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of different
Absolutely.
pairing of spells that you could do with it, like Booming Blade, Green Flame Blade.
Yeah. Whole thing's sounds awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff with it. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up.
Hey,
No, hey, we're winging it today.
yeah, man, we're cool with it.
Oh, also, you get your proficiency bonus. I think it's your proficiency bonus worth of Blade Song, too, along with that. Instead of just getting it twice per long rest, you get your proficiency bonus of that.
It's all Blade Singer stuff. See, when they come out with a new book, they just add a bunch of stuff to every class.
You can,
And then you get all that crap, and you
Yeah.
just get more powerful and more powerful.
well, one of the things they did is like you can now create, like a new, like say like you don't have to stick to the racial abilities that your race has now. You can create, say like you're a dwarf that was raised with elves or whatever. You're not going to be stuck, with the constitution and the strength or whatever
Yeah.
proficiencies. Now you can put dexterity and intelligence.
And you don't have to be stupid to be a half orc and
Yeah.
that stuff. Or orc or whatever it was.
Yeah, you can
Which
do-
I do kind of, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I know they were trying to be like woke and inclusive, but I mean, I do agree with that. Because it does make sense. Like, you don't have to be.
If you're part of a culture, you take on some of their identity.
Right. So I've always thought that was goofy that, I mean, racial bonuses and stuff are cool and they make sense, but at the same time, if your background doesn't support it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a great question. Tyrel, who is your favorite player character in the campaign?
Player character?
Yeah. Not, it doesn't have to be, you don't even have to like the player. Like, it doesn't have to be your favorite player, like just player character. Like Quincy, Buck, Urist, Thren, Gillard, Orin.
I haven't seen what Gillard can do yet, so I'm not really all that impressed with the Echo Knight so far.
Yeah.
He's run some really great interference for us, though.
Yeah.
he did.
I'm just saying, like, I haven't seen like his full potential yet.
Right,
What
yeah,
the-
he
that class
was
can
useful
do.
against that giant.
Yeah, and he still didn't use it even against the Giants.
Well, he had his echo out.
Yeah.
He was running interference for those three, so we didn't have to deal with them while we were fighting a giant, which would have been overwhelming.
And he still had basically all his hit points. So, if it had come down to just him, he'd have probably made it out.
Yeah.
It was a smart play. Anyway,
I guess I didn't notice it, or I didn't remember that he did that.
what? He echoed.
Put the echo out
Yeah.
and was fighting like the wizard and the,
He was making people waste attacks with it and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't notice. I was so busy getting hit by the fireball from the wizard that first time, and then also.
and it's crazy. He can just call it out. How often can he call it out? Just as much as he wants?
Like once a turn or something.
It's like is it an action or a bonus action? I can't remember.
I think
I've never
it's
done
Super OP. It's just like, okay,
Well, it only has one hit point, and like it can't. Like,
Also, at later levels, you can have two of those out at once.
oh wow.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Well, the artificer, the one I'm playing right now, you can get two of those turrets at once.
That'll be sweet.
Later levels.
So, who's your favorite character though?
Back to the question. Quit dodging the question, Tom.
I'm not dodging. I just don't know which one I like the most. There's
Or is it Thren? You could like yourself best.
I like Thren a lot, but I mean, as far as like another character, I like your backstory a lot. I don't know. I mean,
In the current situation, right now. Bless me.
I'm excited to see what Urist's thing the patron is.
Okay.
He would go with the warlock. He would.
I'm interested to see what that is.
Who is Thren's best friend?
Probably you two, actually.
I would figure.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I mean,
us three.
Urist is the new guy, you know.
Right. So it's us two, and then Urist,
Orin is a complete wild card that we
and
cannot
then
trust.
Rask.
Yeah.
Like Rask fits right in. Yeah.
What would you put his alignment as?
Orange?
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic. Chaotic nothing.
Straight neutral chaotic.
Chaotic
Just straight up,
orange.
just neutral.
Well, here's the
Neutral,
thing: he's
neutral.
completely self-serving, and I mean, Darren's playing him so well.
Yeah.
by the way, okay.
Doesn't deviate from it.
Oh my gosh!
Just does wild stuff all the time.
Yeah, and it's almost there's like an old adage that the more unpredictable the person is, the more you can predict them. You
Yeah.
know, that's why I was able to like play as him that one night.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just like, okay,
So, what's the plan?
what's the plan?
That was definitely the best thing that has happened. I was screaming laughing about that when I was listening to it.
Dude, I can straight up tell you right now though, My favorite character, 100% Rask.
Yes, me too.
Oh my gosh. He is like Kyle is playing him exactly how Kyle would be.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
know?
he's just being Rask as Kyle has to.
Yeah.
be.
And it's hilarious. I mean, doesn't care about anything, is just doing it, you know? Oh my
Wants
gosh.
to fight everything. Loose cannon.
Just like
Sporadic.
100% bragging on himself. 100%. And that's not how Kyle is. I've never heard Kyle brag on himself.
Right.
So that's not putting Kyle down or anything, but it's just like, I mean, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's the greatest.
And he also, for not playing very long, and like, he's a pretty good player. I mean, he sticks to the plan. He plays pretty smart. I've been proud of him a few times. But no, he fits in so good.
Oh man.
And to think that he showed up to play D&D with a bunch of people he didn't know and recorded it live.
Yeah.
The first time he ever played D&D.
Yeah.
And here he still is.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Man,
I love Kyle.
what a learning curve.
I was really hoping he was going to be here.
What a legend.
He's
man.
never been on a full. He was on last Say It in Common, but just for like the last half. Anyway.
So what do you think of the artwork you shared in the group text?
Oh, our new podcast art?
Yeah.
I love it.
Are we sticking with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm taking it.
That's cool.
I like it, like, except for the fact that I'm like,
Made Tyrell look like Indian or Latino.
I was thinking
really dark.
like if you swap Tyrell's and Seth's skin colors, they would look way more like
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah. And like they did well with Seth, like his features,
Yeah.
and then like had you looking at the artist's point of view. So it's like they've got you looking a little weird. I will say that. I mean, money well spent. Haley said if she had met somebody who had never met me and she showed them that picture, she could say with confidence, "This is my husband." I mean, she was saying that looks just like
Yours
me.
is great. Yours is great. Dustin's is great.
Yes, Dustin's perfect. dude.
Cameron's is great. Darren looks perfect.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's just there's a few strange.
I can't imagine being a freelance artist and someone just sending me pictures of random people and telling me this is kind of what they're like, and then having to draw it and then actually doing a pretty good job.
What picture did you send him of me? Because
I think I just sent a picture of you sitting. I don't know.
I know that shirt. I love that shirt because
Yeah.
I have that shirt.
It was.
It's my favorite T-shirt.
Probably just a picture of you sitting at the D&D table.
But look at the eyebrows, man.
Yeah,
What? I mean,
make that face right now. That's so great.
did he not do so well? The beard
and
is
to not even know you, like I mean, I could. I don't know what exactly. Let me pull up what I said, like
Cynthia looks pretty spot on.
to give an idea. Yeah, Cynthia's good too. And nobody even knows what Cynthia looks like. I've
Yeah.
never- Well, no, I might have posted a picture
I
of
will
her
say,
on
I
there.
think it's pretty. It's pretty spot on that they put Cameron's phone in his hand and he's like enveloped in it.
Yeah, love it.
I mean, I love it. I love Cameron, but like that's just funny.
Man, where did I?
See, I mean, that looks like you, but you're looking directly at the camera. Or if this was a picture, you'd be looking directly at the camera.
Yeah.
So it looks odd.
I look a little bit like
You don't have a chin.
I look like a bully from a '90s cartoon.
I get that. Like the oblongs or something.
Yeah. I'm about to like steal somebody's lunch money, but you know, I don't care. Like, and people don't know really what we look like anyway, unless they follow us on social media. And it's great artwork, and I think everybody's represented like as their person. So it ain't got to be
Cynthia's
perfect.
got a bag of popcorn.
Yeah, I should have told. I didn't even tell him to give her food. I should have had him give her a baked potato because she's always making one in the microwave. Dang, I can't find the messages that I sent to this guy. I basically said, probably about you, Anthony. I think I said he's hilarious or something like that, and like He's
he gave
always.
he gave me Jack Black's eyebrows.
He gave you the I'm the guy.
I'm here. Party started.
That's it.
Oh man, dude, it's so cool how I mean we can take such a niche thing and like spread it out into so much, you know.
Yeah.
Like there's artwork, there's I mean the podcast with just learning this story, this one singular story that's happening in this whole world that was built by Seth, you know. Like the amount of work that Dustin put into the academy, like it's crazy. I mean,
that was another question I was going to ask. Like, how have you personally been affected, either by this campaign or just like by D&D, like on its own? Like, I'll go first. Tyrel looks like you might want to think. Like, I was thinking today, it's like, I think I've gotten a lot more confident. I also think it's given me a lot of reasons to do creative stuff. Like, that's always good. Like, I've written songs for this thing and, like, put out ads for this thing. Like, I'm being creative all the time. Plus, it's giving me excuses to mix stuff, and I always need practice doing that. So, I don't know. I think it's got my brain going in a different creative mode.
yeah. I mean,
Plus, like, I love the improv and crap. Like,
Yeah.
I never did any of that.
I feel the exact same way. It's just like, I look at, like, I watch a lot of people on YouTube. YouTube is my go-to, like, source of entertainment.
Right.
And, like, you see all these dudes, and, I mean, like, there's one guy who, I watch him play video games, but to know that there is a production behind that, and it's done very well. He does these weird filters. Like when he says something hilarious, he either like puts this filter where his face is all red and his head is blown up like a balloon, and like the audio is like so trashed, it's like acid washed, like you know,
Yeah.
And like there's, I mean, just like doing stuff like that at just the right moment.
Yeah.
It takes so much. You have to know so much about timing. You have to know so much about, like, you have to have such a creative, ingenuitive, like, thought process.
Right. Like, how can I take this thing that's already funny and make it funnier?
Right. And I've never, I never thought about that before. I was just like, oh, wow, this guy's just a naturally funny guy. But it goes beyond that, because he's putting it, you know, like, these content creators are putting it into practice. Like, they're,
Right.
you know, and they know how to release things. So they're marketing as well.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the one thing. I mean, I'm trying to figure that out, but the marketing thing is just tough. Like, I don't know.
You're doing well. I will say that.
There's people that, I mean, have this crap down to like when you should post and stuff like that. I don't know none of that stuff.
That is a marketing degree. Okay, that's the thing.
You're looking for organic growth is what you're looking for.
That's it.
And apparently TikTok is where it's at, so I'm going to have to take that over, I guess.
I mean, it's going to have to be the thing.
The For You page. Do you have TikTok?
No.
I don't. Well, I mean, I downloaded it today, but it's apparently really good for growing stuff organically, because all you have to do is tag the For You page, and any hashtags that are on there, like that is the first thing that pops up when you open TikTok is a For You page. So it's basically the suggested thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, it's based on other stuff that you've liked or that you've watched or hashtags or whatever. You might like this. And
So you have to have like 1,000 hashtags at the end of your post.
But you can blow up with nothing. Like, just one post, and it ends up on a bunch of people's For You. Now you're there. So, I mean, I've heard, especially like even kids around here that like got thousands and thousands of views on a TikTok, like just because of the way that app works. So we got to grow in the marketing, but we're getting there. And with Tiger Skull, I mean, he's helping out a little bit too, because he sent me a bunch of hashtags one time. He's like, man, I get a lot of response out of these, so I use them, and I don't know. It's nice to have him aboard, because he's bigger. He's a lot bigger than us, but at the same time, he's just trying to grow too.
Yeah.
So glad to have him aboard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tyrel, has D&D or this campaign specifically done anything for you personally?
D&D in general well, used to, I wouldn't even be talking on this. 'Cause
Right, yeah,
I would be
that's
super
kinda what I was
uncomfortable even doing this. That has helped a lot with just me getting out of my comfort zone, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's great for that.
Yeah.
I mean, man, I wish I'd have been playing this when I was young. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I would have been a completely different person. I mean, it just unlocks something when you're using your imagination that much. And also when you're just like, hey, I can be whoever I want, and I can play this however I want, and see where it goes. And you just, I don't know.
And there's so many,
confidence.
I mean, there's so many people that are attached to it that are just like supportive of it, you know?
Right.
They're just, I mean, you know, like that thing that Tyrell's talking about. I mean, sure, you would have been self-conscious about it like, 5-10 years ago. But like, we know now today there's a huge community. I mean, there's people that I know that are like super popular that are posting D&D memes that are hilarious to everybody, but it's just like there's a solid wink to D&D in there. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, wow, this dude's into it. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a campaign with him, but like I can't even get in on the campaign I'm in on. So can't do that.
Yeah. Well, anywho, that's what D&D will do for you.
Yeah.
We can. What do we got? We want to move on to something else?
Yeah, sure.
We want to go on the console?
Why not?
Okay, as far as all I'm going to say about on the console is, I was really hoping to get in on the PS5, and it's not looking like it's going to happen anytime soon.
This year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when the next drop is, but
Here's the
I'm not going to go run
honest to
people
goodness
over in a
thing.
store to get one.
And I know that Kotaku article might have spurred us on a little bit more, but like I wouldn't put any sort of importance on getting it now, because I mean, I don't know if they've refined the console making process, but with the past few consoles, it's the first generation is always trash. It's trash for the console standards.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I would wait like a year or even 2 until they drop the next PS5.
Well, then it's only going to be 2 years or so until the next thing comes out, and then
Well,
you're
I mean,
outdated.
I just got my Xbox One X like I would say 2 or 3 years ago, and I mean there's still so much to enjoy. Here's the thing too, like I have got like a console from every generation, and I circulate through them because these games are so fun to play. You're not going to find a shortage of PS5 games when the PS6 comes out. Okay.
Yeah, true.
I mean, and in fact, you'll have a greater understanding of the ones that are built to last, of the good ones,
Yeah.
So like you'll have an easier time picking and choosing which ones are good. So I mean, you'll have a set a set number of games that you're gonna make a list of, and then like those will start dropping off, and you'll say, okay, this one's quality, this one's quality, this one's quality.
Yeah.
And then like the console will be good to go. The console's going to be less buggy. There's going to be less hardware issues. Like I think we've all seen the videos of the new Xbox One Series X. Like some of the disc trays don't work. Like the disc feeder won't work, and then like smoking out of the top of it.
I don't think the smoking was true.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it Seth that was saying?
Seth said that he saw somebody like blowing a vape out of it. Or
Yeah, they
something.
put like vape stuff
Mm-hmm.
inside of it. Yeah.
So I guess maybe that one's not true, but the disc tray, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, can we not on a $500 console get something that works?
Oh my gosh, that's the killer thing about it all too, is it's $500.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing now is since they can actually support up to 8K, you're gonna have to get like a new TV when those actually come out too.
Well, if you want 8K, I mean,
Well,
I don't know what this. I'm
if
sure
you're
this
gonna
is just a 1080. That looks good enough to me.
if you're gonna pay for the system, you might as well get a TV to go along with
I
it.
guess
Yeah.
TVs are so cheap now. I guess it's not that big of a deal. But
Another thing that I saw recently on the console, Xbox Series X is actually powerful enough to run an emulator on it, so you could play PS2 games on the Xbox Series X.
Oh my god.
So the way that whenever I read this, it was saying that Xbox has become more backward compatible than the PS5 has for PlayStation games.
what's an emulator? Just like a software thing?
It's like software where you can play old games. Like it emulates the big one that I've always heard about is a Game Boy emulator.
Yeah.
You can play Game Boy games on your computer because your Game Boy or your computer is set up to run programs how the Game Boy did.
Yeah.
Cameron has one on his phone, actually.
Yeah, see?
A Game Boy emulator?
Yeah, and he plays, like, I think he's got Red, Pokemon Red, and
Yeah.
I think Crystal, maybe Emerald or something, I think, on it. So, yeah.
Emerald is
Game Boy
advanced.
Yeah.
I might look into that. I haven't played Pokemon in a long time.
Dude, I've got them. That's the thing.
You still got all of them?
Oh my goodness. Every single one that I bought. I have seldom sold a game unless it was absolutely terrible.
I've still got an SP, I think, somewhere.
That's what I have.
I've got that lighted screen. Man.
Oh man, that's what sold me to it, and the rechargeable battery.
I had so many attachments for my Game Boy Advance. I had like a screen magnifier with a light on it.
Yeah.
And like the link cord.
I have the link cord.
A bag and like a cat. I had some.
I've got
stuff.
here is a day in the life of Anthony. Okay. When it comes to video games, because video games, I was just explaining this to somebody who didn't take me seriously at work. Like, video games is my hobby. People watch TV, video games. That's me, and it's ridiculous. I understand.
No,
I may never make a dime off of this, but like the thing is, I've got. I'm trying to think of it from. By generations going up, I've got access to NES games on my Switch. I've got Super Nintendo that I absolutely love. That the one that they came out with the games built into it at Walmart.
Yeah, we played that at your house.
Yep.
Played Mario Kart.
Exactly. I've got the Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2, which can play PlayStation 1 games. What else? GameCube. I love the GameCube.
GameCube was an underrated
top
console.
Tier, dude.
The controller's just so good, is what it is.
The graphics for some of the games on GameCube were actually way ahead of their time.
Absolutely, they still hold up.
And it's weird because like Nintendo is not like the one that you say, oh yeah, the great graphics. Like Wii was. I mean, it was also ahead of its time. They started the
motion controls. Wii was an amazing console. It just didn't have. It didn't have the selection of games. Mm-hmm. It was like a step to the next thing. That's always what I thought of the Wii as.
It's like I heard somebody say something along the lines of, like, if I wanted to sit or if I wanted to stand up and exercise, I would actually just play a sport. You know?
Yeah. but like PS3, I had an Xbox 360 until it crapped out. Xbox One X. But like I've got 2 Game Boy Colors, a Game Boy Advanced. I've got a Game Boy or a 3DS, a Nintendo 3DS.
Oh, a DS. Yeah, I forgot about the DS.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the whole thing, like that is my hobby: is getting these games, collecting these games,
There's nothing
playing
wrong
these
with
games.
that. You know what? I feel like, I always used to think that reading was a huge waste of time. I'm starting to put TV watching is a bigger waste of time than reading. It just depends on what you're reading.
Oh yeah, man.
But like I always used to think, well, I could watch a movie in the time I could read a book, and I still believe that. Like I would much rather watch a movie than read a book.
But the book is so engrossing.
Yeah, and I feel like it opens up your mind more. But at the same time, you could be playing a video game, which is interactive and storytelling. So it's like watching a show that you're in.
Oh man, yeah.
So much better.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
Why would I watch a TV show
when I can be in one?
Yeah. Why would I watch a Western when I can play Red Dead 2, you know?
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm completely with you on that. I feel like it's better for your brain than TV.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far. I'd say there are certain things that you can't turn off in your brain, like when you're watching TV. If you're playing a video game,
yeah,
you still have to interact with it. Where with the TV, I mean, here's what it's become in my house. When the TV is on, everybody's phones come out. You know, it's just like, okay, we're gonna have the TV on for background noise, but we're checking Facebook. You know, we're looking at Amazon. You know, that's just what it is. You know?
Well, that's quality time.
Oh man, I wish.
Tyrel, What about you? What were we even talking about? We're talking about on the console.
We're on the console.
Yeah, we're talking about how video games are not a waste of time. Much like
Tyrel
watching
can
TVs.
agree with me. Of course, he's not a console gamer too much. I didn't think too much. I thought you were more geared towards PC.
No,
really.
he's just getting into PC
I'm just
now.
not getting into
I would
PC. really.
love to get into PC gaming. You have no
I,
idea.
I bought this one off of Cameron.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got a really good deal on that. Like it was really good, but and I got lucky on it. It took me forever though to figure out how like modding works. For
Of course, he would get into modding.
Yeah,
Skyrim.
did you not know all this stuff?
I mean, a little bit. I knew he was into modding with like Skyrim on.
He got the whole piece. He got into the whole PC thing so he could mod, and then had the most trouble he's ever had. Out of
yeah,
anything.
it was for somebody who's never had a computer. Really, I mean, I've had one in the office in there in my house, you know,
Yeah.
forever. But like, I've never really fooled around with it because it's never hooked up to the internet. So I never really had a reason to, except for playing chess on it occasionally.
Yeah, yeah.
That was-
Solitaire.
That was about the extent of it. But now that I actually have access to the internet and stuff, modding has become a big thing for me. I really enjoy doing that with Skyrim because like you can make it look amazing.
Or you could turn your character into Thomas the Tanker Engine
Yeah, but
and just roll around all of Skyrim. Do 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 do. Fireball, you know, from his mouth. Macho Man Randy Savage type stuff.
That is not exactly how I'd play it,
But you could.
you could.
Yeah,
You definitely
The
could.
Thomas the Tank Engine mod is out there.
it's yeah.
Actually, there is actually a mod that you know how like when Alduin does that shout where it rains down comets out of the skies, it rains down trains instead.
Thomas trains. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yep.
I saw one where they put like it was, I don't know if it was Parthenax or if it was Alduin. They swapped his face for Macho Man Randy Savage's face, and his anytime he would say something, it would be something Macho Man Randy Savage. So it was like, oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim,
Yeah.
and then the sky would break open.
I actually watched the opening scene, like when you're first pulling down with the carriage and all that, to get your head chopped off. Like
That's the one that I saw. Yeah,
it starts out like off in the distance. You just hear, "Oh yeah, Macho Man is coming."
you need to see this one, man.
I think I have seen that one.
Oh.
Macho Man. He was off.
And then he lands, and it's like this elongated, scary face of Macho Man Randy Savage. He's like, snap into a Slim Jim!
Yeah, that's the one I saw. It's so stupid. Oh god. Yeah, just like you. Oh, I always hated running. You're running through Skyrim. You're on a quest. You're doing something cool, and then all of a sudden you hear in the background, and the music starts.
Well, like, did you know when you fast travel, there's like a certain percentage chance, like after you start the main quest, of a dragon spawning?
Do people like that aspect of the game?
Oh, there's actually a mod to actually make it where
Good way to get Dragon Bone and get a lot of money.
Who can carry around Dragon Bone?
Somebody who's modded.
No, not necessarily. You can actually have that enchantment glitch and make it where you have like unlimited carry weight.
Well, you know, I never did, and I always had a lot of stuff because I like my stuff. And when I would try to pick up a Dragon Bone, my guy would say, "Nope, can't do it." And that would be
How much did you put into your stamina?
I balanced everything. I
that's
didn't
the
go.
problem.
Yeah.
You gotta put it into like if you're whatever your build is that you're going for, you gotta focus on.
Yeah. I always
Either one
started with the fighter character, you know, and then kind of went into magic. Or no, I went into thievery, into the sneak stuff.
Well, I started with a Khajiit, and
There's your thief right there.
yeah. Well, I was doing I didn't know what I was going to do. I wanted to do bows. Then realized that they weren't worth a crap.
Oh no, that's not true.
Not worth a crap.
You,
Not
just, you
what
gotta get the once you get your sneak up and then
Yeah.
like using a bow with that.
You can't get any one-shot kills with it. You
Oh,
shoot,
yes,
and then
you
by the
can.
time you reload, and they're already running at you,
That's the
and
reason-
it makes me so mad.
If you put points into the archery tree, there's actually like perks to make it where you pull your bow back faster.
yeah,
and
I know. There's a
fire.
lot of perks that you get
Zoom in.
every 5 days when you level up.
Dude.
But I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, so I wanted to do arcane archer, maybe something like that, and ended up going pretty far. I'm more of like a mage now, but I would just use the claws most of the time. But awesome. I started using. I don't know. I mainly use magic, but I use claws too.
If you go down into Rift and Sewers, you know, in there, there's a guy you can kill down there, like on your way to the Thieves Guild. He has a special set of gloves on called the
Gloves of the Pugilist.
Gloves of the Pugilist.
I had them for a long time until I did the vampire thing, and then I got the vampire gloves, and they do more damage.
Which ones are that?
Dude, I loved that.
It's the part of the vampire armor when you're in the castle.
Dawn Guard.
Have you done the whole thing?
Yeah.
You
Of course he has.
And you didn't
Multiple
get all the
times.
vampire pieces?
Yeah, as far as I know. You're talking about the gloves are like the black and they have like the little metal bits and they actually do damage?
They do damage, yeah. I think Gloves of the Pugilist, I can't remember how much they do.
It's 20 points, I think.
It may not do as much as them, but it also adds to your magicka. So I like, I don't remember if I was, they do multiple things. They're great.
What are they called?
Vampire gloves.
I didn't think that they were like enchanted or anything.
Yeah, they're great. The whole vampire armor set is awesome. I think that's what I've still got. It's lighter armor and it's pretty good. But I haven't played in so long. I've been waiting. I beat the main story and I was just doing side stuff. And I know my sister's going to be so mad when she finds out that I beat the game without her being here because we were playing it together. I mean, I say we're playing together. She watched.
Well, you still haven't beat the whole game.
Well,
yet.
Right. So we'll do stuff, but I haven't played in so long, and I don't remember. I know I was using. I think at the last I knew I was using the vampire armor.
I would love to be able to go back to the Skyrim version of Valhalla.
Oh, the Solving Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was an awesome place.
Yeah.
The
you go-
heaven thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you fight him in the afterlife. Yeah.
You can't go back there once you leave.
Huh.
Oh, I thought you could.
No.
I've never tried.
Apparently, on one of these DLCs, or maybe it was on Elder Scrolls Online. I can't remember. You can go to, an island and see where's the volcano?
Morrowind.
Yeah, you can see.
You can see
Morrowind.
Vardenfell. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's in Soulslime. You can see it from Soulslime.
Now, is that in Skyrim or is that in Elder Scrolls Online?
That's in Skyrim, but it's in the Dragonborn DLC.
Yeah, I knew
Where
it
you
was in
find
the
Miraak.
DLC. There are so many DLCs for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have like all of them.
Yeah,
I
Hearthfire.
bought one. It was Dawn Guard.
No.
It was right when it came out.
You don't even have to.
Dragonborn?
You don't even have to buy them anymore.
I have not played Skyrim since vintage 2012.
When I bought, this is a hilarious story about Tyrel. Okay, me and my sister, anytime she's here, we always want to play games. Well, we usually end up playing Spyro or something like that from back in the day, and we beat them a million times. And also Casper for the PlayStation 1. We've got it down to an absolute science. And I also know a cheat code where you can make Casper move faster, so I can just blow through that game. There was one day I played it, and I didn't finish something that allowed me to not complete the game like I wanted to, so I played the entire thing again. And I'm telling you, if you were to play that game, it would take you days to play it.
Oh, I'm sure.
We've got it memorized. Anyway, I was like, we want to play something different. I was like, I wonder if Skyrim be any fun. I was like, I wonder if Tyrell's got an extra copy. I text Tyrell. I said, hey, can I borrow a copy of Skyrim? He says, yeah. I said, okay, I'll meet you. I said, I'll come meet you on your road or something, so you don't have to drive all the way down here. I was not going at that moment. I was like, okay, I'll come get it in a little while. Then I think he texted me and said, hey, where are you at or something. I said, well, I haven't left the house yet. 2 seconds later, he's in my driveway.
Listen.
He was so fired up to give me that game and get me playing it.
Yeah. What do you play on?
Xbox 360.
Oh, okay. I've got it on 360.
Yeah.
And my 360 is torn up.
But anyway, when I got it, when I put it in there, I was connected to the internet and immediately it was like, hey, we got to do updates. I was like, okay, great. It downloaded updates forever. And it downloaded all the DLCs and stuff. And I was so confused when I was playing the game because I'd be telling Tyrell where I was at. He's like, oh, that's a DLC. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. And I was trying to just kind of fast track the main story, and I got myself in such a bind. I got up there to Parthenax at level 9, level 10, and I couldn't do any damage. I was like, there's got to be something wrong.
Parthenax or Alduin?
I mean, Alduin, yeah.
Yeah.
And I couldn't beat him, and Tyrell was like, well, what level are you? I was like, 9 or 10. He was like, yeah, it's not going to be easy. And so then I was like, I guess I'll just do some side quests. Went to Riften, realized, hey, if I'd been doing some side quests, like my stuff would be up. Because doing those things ups your stats. Didn't realize that was how the game worked.
Oh, yeah.
Not really. I just realized every now and then it'd pop up, hey, your sneak is increased. Oh, cool. Hey.
Dude, you could honestly just like crouch down in a dungeon and have like the Thalmer walk beside you and your sneak would increase.
Yeah.
You just sit there. I mean, basically make it to where your Xbox doesn't turn off after a set amount of time. Do that and like turn on something else. Just do that for like 6 days. Your sneak would be all the way up.
How long does it take for your sneak to get all the way up?
It's not very, very long. Depending on like,
I'm just not a hacker. I just don't like crap like that.
I seen some guy. He was playing Skyrim, and he had a rubber band around the analog stick and around where your trigger is down there, and wrapped around that where it's pushing forward. Crouched down and walking up against the wall and just sitting there for hours like that. Just walking against the wall.
And what was he getting? Sneak for
Sneak,
that?
yeah.
Because he was crouched?
Yeah, he's like in the midst of a huge bunch of enemies doing that.
Ridiculous what people will do. I'd just rather play the game.
I one time got my blocking from level like 12 to level 100 in one night because I sat in a corner with my shield. And it's amazing that shields don't wear out in this game.
No.
I was just sitting there with a wooden shield, and he was, "Huh, huh, huh."
Yeah, in the older Elder Scrolls games, they actually had durability in those games. So like your armor and stuff could actually break.
Almost every other game has durability.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed has that.
Yeah.
Dude, but my whole grind, what I wanted more than anything when Skyrim came out, and I was hearing from all my friends talk about it in 2010, it was I wanted Daedric armor. That was the one thing I wanted. I didn't care if there was armor that was better, like Dragonbone armor. It didn't look cool. Daedric is where it's at, baby. I could take the whole game with Daedric armor. Going through there looking like a demon lord with 2 flails. I had 2 mauls. Those were my weapons of choice.
2 mauls and some Daedric armor.
And Daedric mauls at that. I was a Daedric prince, man. Walking through there, la-di-da, Anakin Skywalker through the temple of the younglings. I mean, killing it.
Oh boy, why'd you have to make that reference?
I mean, because that's what it was like, my dude.
And so you eventually got there.
Man, yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had any
It took
Daedric
some
armor.
grinding. It took some, what you would call hacking.
I don't know how you get Daedric armor.
You have to get a Daedra heart, and there's one guy that sells it. That sells 2 of them, like every 3rd day or something. So I had to sleep for like 72 hours, buy them. Sleep for 72 hours, fast travel back, buy them.
There's a glitch you can
How many
do.
do you have to have?
I think 1 for each piece, or at least 1 for each piece of armor. Maybe 2 for the chest piece or something like that. I can't remember.
Demon heart.
Yeah, Daedra Heart. Yeah.
Who sells them?
Some dude at the College of Winterfell.
Alchemists sell them, and then sometimes the guys at the college will actually sell some alchemical
How much are
stuff.
they? An exorbitant amount.
I think like 500 gold a piece.
Something like
That's
that.
it?
That's quite a bit for a single alchemical ingredient.
Right.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, at the end of the day, somebody had to kill a demon for that. They're
Dude,
getting ripped
and
off.
I totally also in the early days of Skyrim, I was able to get my smithing all the way up, my crafting all the way up in one sit down because it was just like the dagger hack, Mm-hmm. You just sit there and craft daggers all day, day long.
Yeah.
My problem was I couldn't find enough ingots.
Yeah.
I was having to get so many ingots that I could not walk. I literally just had like some hide armor on.
Ingots and leather straps.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Ingots and leather straps, and I was just like, okay, well,
What? I have never crafted anything.
oh, dude, it's rewarding.
I've
That's
crafted.
where you get good weapons.
Yeah. And if you play,
Enchanting and smithing.
I've never enchanted nothing. I've never smithed nothing.
That's why you couldn't
I've
beat
made-
Alduin at level
I've
9.
made some spells, some potions, like by accident, just cramming crap together, and it comes out a weak poison or something. I've done
well, that's
that
because you're not very good at alchemy yet. But if you have your alchemy way up there, you can make some crazy poisons.
just by cramming stuff together.
Yeah.
If I wasn't in the middle of Final Fantasy VII right now, I'd go home and I'd play Skyrim. Because you guys are making me want it.
Go get special edition or something.
I'm just
play it.
not into that. I mean, like doing the weird. I just want to play these quests.
Take Nightshade, Deathbell, and I think it's
In order to take that, I would have to go find it. I'd have to pick it up, and I just
Deathbell
don't have
grows
room
in
for
the
that
marshes.
Oh,
in
they're
my
easy to
inventory.
find.
Yeah, Deathbell and Nightshade. Nightshade is in any cemetery in the game.
Yeah.
Deathbell grows primarily in Hill March, which is the swampy area out there, right beside Solitude and between Solitude and Morthal.
He knows the geography, folks.
Of course, he does.
I can't believe we're still doing the podcast. I thought we were just. I forgot all about that.
That's great.
Anyway,
That's what we want. Go ahead.
If you do that, you can make a pretty deadly poison with that. But also, if you take, I think it's there's some kind of fish you can get. It's a river betty, I think it is.
I have no idea.
yeah, that's what every fish is. Every fish I've ever gotten is a river betty.
If you
What
get
about the
one of those-
gar?
Never found a gar.
The slaughterfish?
Yeah, that's it. Slaughterfish.
yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I got that.
I hate those things.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them. They were even worse in Oblivion though because they, well,
If you're saying that they could hop out of water, that would be what would make them worse.
no, they just get really big.
Oh,
Yeah,
Go ahead. Ted.
there's actually a really big one.
So you put a river betty with a nightshade
and
a
I think
bell.
Deathbell, and then you get a Ravage health poison with, I think it has a lingering health damage effect or damage health effect on it with it. So like it decreases the amount of health they have already by whatever many points, and it makes them take lingering damage on top
just
of that.
so you
this
apply that
to
to
a
your
weapon.
weapon?
Yeah,
Oh,
or
that's
if
nasty.
you have that one perk, you can actually put it in there while they're asleep, and it poisons them.
Dude, this guy knows.
I've never tried to apply a poison to a weapon. I think I might have one time. It just takes so much time to just go into your menus and start
Well, if you-
clicking crap around. I just assume go
I
in there
love
and
that
hit
part
it
of
with a
it though.
sword.
I love like the one thing about Skyrim that I thought was going to be more exhaustive was like building yourself from the ground up. That's why I love Survivor series games like Ark, Survival Evolved.
You like stuff that takes forever.
I like stuff where you can craft everything around you except the land that you're sitting on. Okay? You have to craft your clothes, you have to craft your weapons, your tools, your house.
like that too.
It
Oh,
doesn't
man.
fire me up. It takes too long. I want to play a story. I
even
want
play, like-
to.
There's a story with Ark. It's just like I'm scared of the story. I'm a single player and I'm having to go up against this alien godlike creature. I can't do it.
That game is so weird.
I love it, dude. I love it.
I got him to play a little bit out there at the firework tent.
Yeah.
No.
So
Played it for maybe 5 minutes and went, "This is the
I
dumbest
tame
thing
as many
I've ever
dinosaurs as
played."
I can, and like
Can you save a game on that?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
return to it?
yeah. And I mean, I haven't played it in a few months, but like my whole thing that I was getting into was like breeding the perfect creature.
No. I've never done that.
Oh man, breeding in that game is so amazing.
My main focus in that game was just playing by myself.
Yeah.
Was just survival. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I was trying to do.
I got to where like I'm in like a metal house. I've got like big Jurassic Park gates all around me.
You know what
I've got a mechanized T-Rex
Oh boy.
named, I think it's named Barb. No, wait, that's something else. But anyways,
You know what my thing was?
name them all stupid names.
I made a raft house. Is what I made.
That is a terrible idea.
I know. I realized that.
Lead sickness.
Yes.
There's these giant creatures that are otherwise really friendly, really nice.
Yeah.
But if you're on a raft, they will eat your lunch.
Yep.
They will absolutely murder you.
house and then it came and destroyed it.
Well,
Because that's why. Because on the online servers, these guys would build raft houses and nothing could challenge them. Because they'd have turrets everywhere and nobody could go out there. Even other raft houses. If this one, it was just no one would utilize the land, and it's like this place is like 80% land. So people were winning and losing on 20% of the map.
Yeah.
And so they put in this dinosaur that is absolutely like hard to kill, man. Like it is hard to kill. But you could easily spend all of your time underwater figuring things out too. Oh man.
I've seen somebody make a tag base that was underwater.
I love that
is
idea.
insane.
Love that idea.
Oh my god. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like it's like a underwater. I don't even know how to describe it.
I'm just going to
It's like-
rely on my army of megalodons is what I'm doing whenever I'm going underwater. Have you seen the magical Leopleurodon?
No.
I have got a Leopleurodon. They feed on like this honey stuff. It's honey. You got to feed them honey. Otherwise, and when you capture one, it's based on the whole concept of Charlie the Unicorn.
I was about to say, is that
it's
what
a
that's
magical Leopleurodon, Charlie.
Oh my god.
When you tame it, it's only there for 30 minutes. Once the 30 minutes is up, it like disappears in a whirlwind like Santa. Okay? It's just like and it's gone in a whirlpool and glitter. But
why do you have it for 30 minutes? What does it do while you've got it?
I can't remember what it is, but it's like it buffs your experience. It like you can gather certain things. I can't remember what it is, but I mean it's not particularly fast. It's not like an amazing creature. But it's I don't know.
It's magically a Pleurodon, Charlie.
I haven't there's one creature. there's one creature that I haven't gotten yet. I can't remember what it is. What its name is. It's the biggest tameable underwater creature.
Megalodon.
No, not a megalodon. It's way bigger.
It's not the lead sick.
That's not tameable.
Thing is not. Yeah, it's not tameable.
Lead sick. This isn't tameable. Oh man, what is it called?
Guys, I just do not have a clue what y'all are talking about.
I love dinosaurs. I've always loved dinosaurs
I have too, but I can't think of what that's called. I don't know. Is there something new they've added with an update or something? Because it might be something I've not encountered because of that. I don't know. I hate those scorpion things deep underwater.
Those are awful.
They're
I want to also get into like the DLCs too.
Oh yeah,
like
Ragnarok.
Before after Ragnarok, the latest one that they've come out with.
Oh, the I know what you're talking about. The one that's like kind of futuristic.
Yeah,
it's like
where you feed this creature like elemental dust.
Yeah,
and it turns into like this big jacked four-arm monster.
It's like the junkie of
Mosasaur. That's what.
Mosasaur.
A mosasaur. Have you seen Jurassic?
Does it walk
World?
on water?
No. Have you seen Jurassic World?
Does it split the Red Sea?
No. Have you seen
the Mosasaur?
Get out of here. Get out of here, okay? Have you seen Jurassic World?
No.
No? With Chris Pratt? No. Dang.
Don't care anything about Jurassic Park. Don't get me on a soapbox about Jurassic Park.
I'm not gonna
Go ahead.
changed the world for paleontologists, but okay. Now, do you remember the commercials for it when they had this shark dangling and like this big creature came up and snagged it in its jaws and
I'm not familiar.
All right, well, never mind then. Guess you'll never understand. It's a giant creature that is just absolutely just rules, man. Just absolutely rules.
Tyrel, what are you playing? You still playing Skyrim, or are you?
I'm currently on a playthrough of Skyrim. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right
PC.
now. Yeah, I have invested every single one of my level ups into Magicka. I have no health at all and no stamina at all, but I have like 500 and
that's pretty tough. How do you stay alive?
Magic. That's a
constantly casting something.
Okay, so there's a spell. It's a mod.
Yeah,
but it's added by this mod called Apocalypse.
That's how he stays alive. He has a mob where he can't die.
This mod is very fair balanced. I will say. Hold on.
Okay.
Apocalypse.
Tell us about Apocalypse, Tyrel.
It adds in a bunch of new spells. Okay, they're all pretty lore friendly. They're not like anything really just necessarily too crazy.
Nothing too crazy.
I mean, it even adds in like Nudramora and stuff like that that you can summon. One of the spells it adds in though is Akado's Recital, which is a spell that allows you to store 3 spells as kind of an auto cast kind of thing,
like a cantrip.
Kinda, I guess. It casts on its own though when battle
like
starts.
no casting time.
Yeah,
just boosh.
Yeah. It auto casts 3 spells at once.
Oh,
so
that's where the Apocalypse comes in.
It can only be self-focused spells.
Oh, okay.
So you can store a flesh spell, one of those like stone
flesh,
wood, whatever, the oak spell, stone flesh and iron, and ebony. Yeah, so I've been doing that. Mm-hmm. I store that in there, and then I use this other spell from this other magic mod called Arcanum, which adds, how The Witcher in the Witcher series, that one thing that you can do, like, puts, like, a shield around your character, like a big bubble. Mm-hmm. It has that spell in there. I forgot what that spell's called. It's like Redeemer Shield or something like that in that mod. Anyway.
Yeah, right.
But you
right.
can
it's the same
cast,
effect.
you can cast through the shield though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it adds the Iron Flesh that I have currently, and it adds Redeemer Shield on top of it.
Okay, so you got a shield and then a shield.
Yeah.
And then the third spell is a nuclear explosion that emits from him in a 50-foot radius.
He lines himself in lead, covers that lead with an unbreakable force field, and then ups the radiation of the immediate 60-mile radius vicinity.
And everything dies.
And everything
Plant
either
life.
dies or evolves into something that has too many legs on one side or too many toes.
Which then fights for him on
right,
his side.
right.
Oh my God.
And cannot communicate because it has become mentally defective.
What's the third spell, Tyrel?
The third spell, I don't think I have a third spell, actually. I didn't put one actually in there.
Doesn't need one.
You know,
He doesn't. He doesn't need a healing spell. That's for sure.
Well, I have healing spells that I can cast.
but he doesn't need to put it in there because the shields and the flesh.
Right.
I mean, they're very useful spells.
Magic is fun.
Of course they are. Yes. Oh.
Well, they
I
keep you from dying. I'll put it like that.
Magic
You're taking-
is great in Skyrim. And when I learned you could dual cast stuff,
Yeah.
I was probably level 20 by then.
That was AJ's make it or break it point. That was,
When
that was like
I
dice.
was trying to apply flames or a healing spell on my left hand or something, and I accidentally did flames, and then I accidentally pulled both triggers, and it went whoosh. I went, oh my god! Because what I do with my cat Khajiit, I just like flame the crap out of stuff and then go up and scratch them, and it does way more damage because they're on fire, and then I kill stuff easy.
I had a red guard because I had I still don't know what the appropriate class or race would be. So like I was just like, okay, well I'll just I'll be this guy because he's a red guard. That sounds cool. And to this day, Bart has not died. He's still
Bart?
out there living. That's my character's name, Bart.
Well, you can't die in Skyrim. You come back.
I mean, he was taken out a few times. I had to revert to a save a time or two.
Is it cheating to save mid-fight?
Why would you?
Yeah, why would you say
That would be awful.
Let me tell you why you would do this. I do not remember what quest line this was on, but I was in some kind of temple, and there was an extremely strong wizard at the very end of it.
Was that wizard's name Malkarin, perhaps? In
I don't know if you'd remember that.
I don't think that's it.
did you find a nice
Possibly-
glowing sword at the end stuck in a pedestal?
No, it wasn't that.
Okay, so was it like a dragon priest? An undead guy that just came up and floated?
No, he was. I'm pretty sure I had to get past some of those Centurion
Dwarven
machination things first.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe I'm mixing two together. I don't know.
It could be Brandish. It could be that guy.
Anyway,
he kept killing me with like ice spikes.
That sounds like Brandish. Yeah.
Brandish.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have to unlock a door, go downstairs into like a library kind of thing, and he's like behind this desk looking thing there?
Possibly.
Yeah, that's definitely that dude. And I can't remember which fort that's in, but it's in one of those forts, and it's like a bunch of conjurers and stuff in there. Inside the fort.
Possibly. Yeah, that kind of sounds right. Anyway, he would hit me like one time with an ice spike, and it drains everything. It about kills you, and then it like takes your stamina
Stamina's
completely down. Yeah. So I had this like to a complete science because I died so many times. Where I had this save at, I was like behind this pedestal, and I would have to wait for him to shoot a spike. It would bounce off the pedestal. Then I would run up. There was like an altar up there. I would run up, jump up on top of the altar, jump back off. He would shoot an ice spike past me. Then I would run toward him, flame him, knock him down, and scratch him. Then I'd run away and get back behind that pillar.
I'd get him start the process over.
I'd get them down to about half health, and I would save. And then if my health was good. Like if my health was bad, I wouldn't save. But I'd save if I got him down, to a certain point I'd save. Then I'd go back behind the pillar and save again.
Yeah, I mean that's not cheating. No, that's
I think that's cheating.
That's tactical saving. Now, here's why that's only beneficial in Skyrim, because Skyrim keeps a list of all of your saves.
Yeah.
In any other game, your save would be replaced. As you know, you play video games.
Yeah.
So like if you just decided, listen, I think I need to, get out of here and level up just a little bit, you couldn't do that.
True. Yeah.
So that
is an
kind of puts the squeeze on you to actually you have to finish this even if you're way outclassed.
Yeah. It always confused me, especially when I was young, when I played games with like multiple saves. Like you could revert to a save. I didn't understand why anybody would want to do that.
Yeah.
Why would you want to play like an earlier version of your character? That was all.
He's not going to be as old.
Oh yeah, he's like not as good then. But so what are we excited about next console games? What is the number one?
I'm excited to get the PS4 at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I think here's honest to goodness truth. The Xbox Series X is a really powerful console, and I'm sure that it is going to have its heyday this generation. I'm sure it's the go-to
Not
thing.
the PS5. Is that what you're saying?
It's not that. I think we've reached an equilibrium here.
Between the two consoles?
Yeah, between the producers of the consoles.
I don't
manufacturers.
think either one of them. I don't know that one of them would be better than the other. I'm
Sony's
just
not
started
going
on
down in
PlayStation.
flames. Microsoft is not going down in flames. There's no skin involved in this.
Right.
It's just where they're going to be, because obviously you can't have these two consoles competing on the same market. That's not marketable for anybody. So Sony is doing their thing. Okay, they're revamping things. They're using, like, what comes to mind is like the early like remakes, Final Fantasy VII, Medieval, and then even using things to their advantage, like their Spider-Man license.
Yeah.
They are pulling that card.
So it's you saying it's about exclusives at this point, which I
And
think that's how it is with every console.
But that's the thing. It's always been, technically. But there's so many people, like when the PS4 came out, all of my friends bought a PS4. I didn't know, or Tyrel was probably the only person that I knew that had an Xbox One. And like I bought it, and the games on it are really cool. The exclusives for me have kind of dried up, and the Xbox Game Pass.
Xbox, is that what you're talking
about? Yeah, the Game Pass is really awesome, but there's this whole getting back to like platformers that I'm not a platform. I don't like platformer games, which is just like side scroller. You're jumping from platform to platform. That's where the term comes from, and it's just like it's a really simplistic game. It can have a really rich story, and it can have really awesome gameplay, but it's just not something I'm into.
They made a Souls-like platformer. Mm-hmm. I can't think of what that's called.
Is it something about ashes or something like that?
It might be.
At the end of the game,
the dude has like this like weird
skulls?
like
Heresy.
Thorn crown looking thing.
Heresy.
Yeah.
I think it's called Heresy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 2D side scroller Souls-like game with really hard bosses and enemies.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, but I'm just not into the platforming thing, and that's what a lot of people are getting into. That's what I've seen a lot on the Xbox
Why would anybody
One
be
X.
getting into that?
The only
Simple
games.
It's like Nintendo style stuff.
The only game I've played that I actually liked that was a platformer, I guess you could say, is Terraria. I actually like that game. It was really
I
fun.
never played Terraria. One game that I kind of want to play.
Dig Dug.
What's that one game where you're just like this mass of flesh that's killing scientists? You know what I'm talking about?
It's a flesh that's killing something.
You're like this creature, and like it looks awesome for a side scroller.
Yeah.
That's the one side scroller I would play. But anyway, I started this conversation just to say, like, Xbox is going to go, I think, into the realm of like bringing a PC to a console, because they're Microsoft. That's what they'll do. Sony is going to own the console for being a console's sake. You know what I mean? And
I just pulled up PS5 because I was going to look at some games.
yeah.
And video game news. This is like top headline.
Oh, sure.
From Complex. Man's wife makes him sell his PlayStation 5 after realizing it wasn't an air purifier.
Oh my god.
Is that satirical?
I don't know. No, there it is. Penn Live also reporting. Comic Book also reporting. Newsweek reporting. It's all the same story. Game Rant.
She would spend $500 on an air purifier. Of course, I mean, if you need it, I mean,
How did he trick her into thinking that was an air
because
purifier?
it looked like it.
Oh, hold on. We've got a PS5 restock update right here
Okay.
from 13 hours ago. Let's go ahead and look at that.
That's old news.
Quietly restocked at Target and PlayStation Direct on Thursday, and there were rumors swirling of a restock at Walmart and Best Buy next week.
There you go. There you
So
go.
now
right
they're going to do it quietly so they don't have people beating
Exactly.
the door down.
You got $500 laying around to get you one?
I mean, maybe not laying around. Like, I don't want to spend $500. I wanted it for Christmas, but
Of
like,
course.
I mean,
You're an adult. You
It's-
can get whatever you want for
I can,
Christmas.
right.
Ain't got no wife, ain't got no kids. You're good.
Yeah, I can buy whatever I want, but I
Exactly.
just don't want to spend $500 for a toy.
No one wants to spend
when
$500 on
when
anything.
I have people that love me that'll buy stuff for me. They my parents and my grandparents,
somebody-
and my aunt, they always want to get me something for Christmas.
Do you have somebody that will spend $500 on you? The one person that will spend the whole $500?
I don't know.
Maybe you can get all of your family to chip in a little bit.
Yeah, see that was kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
but
That's what my wife did last year with my Switch. She went in with her parents and got me the Nintendo Switch, and
See,
I was
that's the way
just
to
like,
go.
whenever I first saw it, I was like, we can't afford this right now. And like my face, it was a good Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, for her.
she just gets her dad to buy stuff.
I just get my dad.
No, see,
My dad is a tax
uh,
collector. What does your daddy do? Pay taxes.
for my birthday, my aunt and my mom went in together and bought me a disc golf bag.
Yeah.
So they're not against going in together or anything.
course.
But anyway, that was one of the few things that I wanted. I was like, yeah, I'd like to have a PS5, and if they just want to give me most of the money for it or whatever, that's fine
exactly.
too.
Gift cards.
But at the same time, like, it doesn't look. I like. They're probably just going to have to give me money because they're not going to be able to find a PlayStation. So, I don't know. I don't know what I mean, it's just not very fun to get, just money and then you just have to go buy the thing. You open up a card for Christmas and that's all you get.
I'm excited for anything I get for Christmas because I literally go into Christmas thinking, like I'm an adult now. If somebody would just wanted to get me like a fruit cake, that'd be it. I would understand.
I love Christmas. I love getting gifts and giving gifts.
Oh my
I'm a
gosh.
big gift giver.
I love giving gifts if I know the gift is like perfect. But if it's like iffy, I'm just like, ugh, really hope you like this. It's
Yeah.
stressful.
I'm that way sometimes, but and I'm always like my mom always talks about how she always, she'd always try to like spend the same amount on me and my sister, stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't care what I spend on somebody. Like I may, like what I get for Tyrel may be $10, but if that thing means as much to him as the thing I had to spend $150 on for somebody else, that's what matters to me. I just want it to be the right gift, and if I got to pay a bunch of money for it, I don't really care. Speaking of, I don't think my sister listens to this, so I'm going to say what I got her for Christmas. Because I think I got her the perfect gift. So, last time she was here, like, we always talk about going to escape rooms and stuff. And last time she was here, I can't remember if we went.
There's one in Cersei.
Is it open right now? Like,
I don't know if
like
it's open right
stuff.
now.
See, that was the thing. Anyway, we always want to go to an escape room. We've done 2 together, I think. Yeah, we've done 2 together. Anyway, last time she was here, I don't think we did one. And this time, I don't figure we were going to get to do one. So I got her a Hunt a Killer. Have you seen that?
I've seen it.
Yeah, they have like a subscription thing. It's basically, it's not really an escape room. It's just like mystery solving boxes.
Yeah.
It's like a game.
Yeah, it's like a party game.
Yeah.
It's really, it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's super legit. And I went on the website. I thought it was just a subscription thing, or like you could buy like a one-time use or something. They have subscription where you get like, if you're on the current, they have seasons. It's like a show or like movies, and
Or Fortnite.
you play like each episode. So like each month or whatever, they send you an episode, and you solve it through the month, and then you get the next episode. Yeah. But you can buy whole seasons that they've already done.
Yeah.
So I bought her one that was like Murder at Something High or something. Like it's a high school like 80s 90s high
That's
school
awesome.
thing. Yeah, it's gonna be so fun. So hopefully we
you
can
guys
do
can
it
play that
while-
over Christmas.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing because she's gonna be here for. I texted her the other day. I said, "Hey, when you get here, I'm probably giving you a Christmas present." She's coming in on the 16th.
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't think I'm going to be able to wait, and I want you to be able to use it while you're here." And she said, "Okay." So I'm going to give it to her early, and she's going to be here for 3 weeks. I'm like, "Well, we're going to solve this mystery."
Dude, that's awesome. I want everybody who listens to this to know that AJ's family unit is like so cohesive and so awesome. Like, I could not imagine sitting in a room with my sister playing a video game. That would be the worst thing ever, because I would just be annoyed the whole time. My older sister, by the way.
Is she not a good gamer, or
It's not. It's just, it's just like,
she's not the person you hang out with?
no, not at all.
Well, she's way older than you, isn't she?
No. She was born in 90. I was born in 92.
She not go to Concord?
Yeah, for a little bit.
What's her name?
Graduated from Midland.
What?
Megan.
Tate?
I mean,
Is her last name Tate? Well,
it
it was.
Yeah.
Why do I not know her? Like, why do I not?
She's in the same class as
She'd been with my sister, right? If she's a year older than you?
she was a year above.
She was so she was 2 years older than you.
Technically.
She was 2 grades above you.
2 grades above.
Grade above my sister.
Yeah.
Don't remember.
Probably wouldn't. She started going to Midland in like 7th, 8th grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably wouldn't then. Anyway, Tyrel, what about your sister? She plays games, doesn't she? Or did? She's a lot older than you, though.
I forget
Yeah,
that
she's
Tyrell has siblings. Do you just have a sister?
Just one, yeah.
Just one sister.
Oh, Kelly.
Never met her.
My gosh, if you saw... Tyrell's niece plays basketball, and it is hilarious how much she moves like Tyrell.
Oh my gosh, no. I mean, it's not that that's a bad thing. It's just...
No, it's just like you can tell they're related. Like,
Yeah.
she runs like Tyrell.
Yeah. I forgot that, here's the thing.
It's insane.
Here's
It's
here's
hilarious.
here's when I realized that people have certain mannerisms in their movement. Whenever I was in high school, I was the resource officer came to me. He's like, "Listen, you're the guy for this job. I need you to dress up in a mascot costume. You're going to be Eddie the Gun Safety Eagle." Eddie the Gun Safety Eagle.
You know, there was also an Eddie the Eagle back in the Olympics in like the 80s that was like a nobody from some farm somewhere that did the luge and like won gold.
Well,
Anyway,
the thing
go
is, like, oh yeah, I remember that movie, The Eagle.
I haven't
Anyway,
even seen that.
anyway,
I just knew that.
yeah. So I was in this full gear, wasn't talking, nothing. I was just acting goofy, walking from classroom to classroom, and this girl that I graduated with, her little sister.
How old were you at this time?
I was either in 11th or 12th grade. 12th grade, probably.
I was in the building. I don't remember you doing this.
I wasn't dressed up in the high school.
Oh, you went to elementary?
Elementary.
Oh, okay. I got it.
And my classmate's little sister looked at me and said, "That's Anthony Tate. I can tell by the way he walks." I was just like, okay. I've never had anything flattering said about my walk. I had a principal that sarcastically called me strut. And then I had a teacher who said, you look like a penguin when you walk. You
Yeah, a little. I would call it more like a bebop, because you're always with your. Did I send you that video of that guy that was walking just like you?
I don't know if you said it was
Dressed
me.
in that. He was wearing like old timey golf gear, carrying his bag, and he was like sauntering through there, and it looked just like something you would do. And he like spun around, and I was
It
like,
sounds familiar. You may need to send
I
that
do
to me
remember
again.
that. Yeah, that wasn't that long ago, was it? That was like
No.
maybe a month, maybe
yeah,
ago.
probably.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look on the group chat.
I probably still have the video. I can just show it to you. You'll never find it.
Oh, that's
Anyway, what was that? That reminded me of something when you were talking about that.
Just walking like people.
Oh yeah, the other day at church on Wednesday night we have our kids thing, and we pulled out a couple really old ones. Like we did like the "I Exalt Thee" chorus.
Yeah.
And I was after me and Handsome Malachi and Rachel were talking, and he was like, man, that's like old school, like Chris Tomlin or something. I was like, or Matt Redman, and I was like, I thought that was like a hymn or something. And he was like, no. He said that was like a Matt Redman. He said that's back in the day. Did you find it?
Yeah. Anyways, you said that's like a Matt Redman.
Watch the guy walk. Is this not something you would do? That little.
That little swagger.
Yeah, and then he spins.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, I sent that to, I think Seth, and said, who does this remind you of? And he said Anthony.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, yeah, we were talking about that. And Hanson's like, yeah, that was like back there, like with "I'm a friend of God," and we were like,
Yeah.
oh, and
Dude.
Hanson, no, Rachel said, all I remember is that Anthony loved that song.
I would sing that song. I grew up hearing that song whenever I was like 6.
I was like, I can see him now, like doing his little shuffle dance and snapping his finger. That, yes.
I am a friend of God. He calls me friend.
So, just so you know, your legacy lives on.
Oh, that's beautiful. That really touches my heart.
Thank you. I was. Forget that. We're off on the console because I'm on a rant.
Yeah,
right
we're going off on Common Life.
Common Life and the memoirs of the commoners of D&D before the commoners of D&D.
Yeah. We're gonna write a book.
It was really funny the other day because we were going. There was ball game at Concord, and it's like limited seating, COVID, all that. So anyway, there's not that many people in there. But after the game, I was leaving, and one of our youth leaders and some of the kids were standing around outside, and she was like, "Hey, AJ, we're going to get pizza if you want to come with us." I was like, "Okay, sure." So me, Hans, and Rachel went with them, and we went to Pizza Hut. And on the way over there, 3 of the kids rode with me, and one of the girls, she's like 13. It was like 2 13, 14-year-old girls with me. And she was like, "Hey, hook me up to the aux and let me play Truck City," which was the song that me and my friends did in high school.
Oh my gosh, dude, no.
They know all the words to that. And did you ever listen to Hunter Cornelison's one?
It's been so long, I
Craig
may have
and
listened
Peter?
to it once. What is it?
Craig and Peter, about the goat and the rabbit that are friends, and he
One
takes
time.
them
I
to
listened to
the
it, like,
club.
once.
Okay, anyway, they know all the words to those 2 things, and I was like, that is hilarious. One girl that goes to church with us did a report on Truck City or something for art class. I don't know what they were talking about, but yeah, and I was like. And they also said that our Frisbee video that we made for school, that gets used for examples all the time when they're doing projects. And I texted Hunter and I was like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this or not." I said, "But kids are still playing your Craig and Peter song off of YouTube." And he said, "I don't know whether to be embarrassed or flattered."
Because he's like a fully functioning adult now.
Yeah, he sells insurance.
Yeah.
And he's out here.
It's weird for me to think about Hunter Cornelison in that way because, I mean, it's like, he's super popular, super great guy, but like, I always thought him like, he's just this goofy guy who hangs out with a bunch of goofballs.
Yes.
And he's like one of the most fully functioning adults I've seen.
Yeah, and I was saying we need to do like a part 2 to that song or something. And he was like, "Yeah, we could." He said, "Just as long as none of my customers hear about it or hear it." He was like, "They'd probably say, 'Who is this and why is he handling my insurance?'"
Oh my gosh. So listen, if you happen to be a customer of Hunter Cornelison, don't bring this up. Or do, and ask for a discount.
I'm going to probably bleep his last name out.
Yeah, probably.
Because I just said everything that he wanted me to say. Nobody's going to... Nobody listens to this cares anyway, but...
Maybe.
There might be. There could be somebody. Blackmail. Yeah.
I mean, they know where we go to school. They know your age.
Yeah,
they
know
could,
where I live.
Hackers could figure that out.
They could easily come find me. They could find me so easy.
Yep. You could have a stalker outside this window right now watching us make this podcast.
My mom's probably listening from the other room.
So you're saying your mom's a stalker?
Super fan Debbie Cannon.
Hashtag super fan.
Hashtag super fan.
We got to give her an award or something.
Yeah, we should for most loyal listener.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
What's next? What's next on this podcast episode? This is a long one too, isn't it?
We're almost to 2 hours.
Okay, yeah. Shoot, we hope that your ear has been filled with
Christmas joy,
with like just listening pleasure.
I watched a movie the other day. Me and my mom did, and I had seen a preview.
Commoners at the movies, everybody.
It was originally Seth's movie minute, but
in your film. That's what we'll call
your film.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about streaming exclusive movies before, like how they're not, they don't seem to be as good. We watched a Hulu one the other day that I saw an ad for on YouTube, so maybe y'all have too. It's called Shoot. About a girl in a wheelchair that like her mom has like that syndrome where she keeps her kids sick on purpose.
Munchausen's by proxy. That's what the
Is that what that disorder is called? My
Yep.
mom said it the other day when we were watching the movie.
yeah. Hulu movie about
Run. It's called Run.
Oh, okay.
Great movie. Great movie. Thriller, kind of scary.
Isn't it based on a true story? Pretty sure it is.
I don't know. It's probably like true events inspired it, but
I don't know about that. I think it's pretty.
I didn't see anything on there but the way, I don't want to give anything away in case people want to watch it, and I probably already did give stuff away, but it's pretty easy to tell early on that like there's something shifty about her mom. But oh my gosh, it's just so good. You've never watched a thriller movie before. It reminded me of like Misery. Did you ever watch Stephen King's Misery? I remember watching that when I was young. I don't remember that much about it other than like it was terrifying because he couldn't move, and she's like the same way because she's confined to a wheelchair, and she's like trying to sneak around her house and stuff. So it just adds a whole nother level of that just like dread feeling. Oh, I love that. Like, did you see Don't Breathe?
I haven't seen that still.
The one with the deaf guy, the blind guy.
Yeah, blind guy.
Yeah, and they get in his house, and he like all his other senses are heightened because
he's blind. He's had to,
and it's like you're in his realm when you're in the dark. Like, anyway, that whole thing was intense.
Yeah, dude, I love
But
it.
great
when
movie.
Movies, I love it when movies like flip the script like that. Like, okay, these guys are going to do something bad, but it gets flipped on them.
Yeah,
Like Last House on the Left. Have you ever seen that? It's an awesome thriller movie.
oh yeah, and the parents end up killing the rapists.
Right.
Yeah, good movie.
Yeah. Did
Pretty
you
decent.
remember how the last death worked out?
Stuck his head in the microwave.
Dad was like a brain surgeon. Like numbed him, but paralyzed him, but didn't numb him. So like put his head in a microwave that he rigged up to work without the door on,
Oh my god.
and like scrambled him, dude.
That's so bad.
Oh, but it was everything about it. The movie's been out for a while, so like that's why we don't say spoiler alert. Okay.
Yeah, I should have said spoiler alert about Run, but anyway, yeah, that's a good one. And if you have Hulu, you should check that out. And it's an exclusive, and it's really good.
fun.
And the visuals are great. Like the music was great. It all pulled together really well. Just the way I don't know. It was well filmed, well written. Acting was good. Just a good movie. Do you have Hulu?
I do.
Anthony? You
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
I've got just about every streaming platform. Well, not every. I won't say every, but I've got the big three.
Do you have satellite too?
No.
Okay. Well, I was going to say you're
I cut the
paying
cable.
as much for.
No.
You cut the cable.
I cut the cable.
Oh yeah, y'all have cable out there, don't you? Or do
Maybe.
you not have cable?
We could. I've got
Can
internet
you get
through
Batesville
Independence
all the
County.
way out there?
I don't know. I've got internet through Independence County cable.
Oh, okay. So you might could
Maybe.
if
If I wanted to.
Anyway, if you got Hulu,
Yeah.
check that out. If you like scary / thriller movies, does Haley like those kind of movies?
Kind of, yeah. We kind of get into them. I like more monster movies, but whatever. They used to terrify me as a kid.
Kind of in between,
Have you guys ever seen Crimson Peak? That movie?
I want to see it.
It's a good movie.
Is that a-
Guillermo del Toro?
That's why I want to see it.
It's good.
It's newer. It's like
Yeah.
2014,
I think it's 18 actually.
18.
Yeah.
Okay.
What Crimson Peak?
Crimson Peak. Yeah.
It has Tom Hiddleston in it, the guy who played Loki on Thor.
Yep. It's got him, and it's got I think that's the girl that played Alice in Wonderland. I think it as the.
I'd believe
the
it.
girl.
I'd believe
think,
it. Yeah.
Is who that is.
Yeah.
What's a plot?
It revolves around being haunted. Is from what I can tell.
It's got a murder story to it too,
Boom.
and
Extreme hauntings.
yeah, and the girl, she kind of has like this thing. Excuse me. Kind of this paranormal thing about her where she can see dead people.
I see dead people.
Nobody else can see.
Okay. Got a sixth sense.
And she can kind of like talk to them and stuff. Kind of, but yeah, it's a really good story. Really weird, creepy stuff going on. I really liked it though. Another movie I want to see that I think just came out is that is it Antlers or Antlers? Yeah.
Yes, it's about a Wendigo.
Yeah,
It is about a
And it's another
Wendigo.
Guillermo del Toro movie.
Yes. Here's the thing. I don't know if you know Guillermo del Toro, but like did you ever watch the old Hellboy movies?
No.
Crap.
Was he?
He was.
Did he direct them? Or
He didn't. Yeah,
Is he a
was-
director?
Yeah, but he like what his focus is like realism, like in the visuals, not in the plot. I mean, Hellboy is definitely not realist, but like he doesn't use CGI as much. He uses actual like so it adds so much of a layer to the production.
So like Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny type graphic kind of stuff.
Kind of, except better.
Because that's what Hellboy always looks like to me, like plastic.
Like, okay, let me pull this up real quick. All these prosthetics, all of it.
Yeah, that's why it looks weird.
That is an actual animatronic zombie in this.
See, that kind of stuff turns me off. It looks like Star Wars. Early Star Wars.
Like, have you seen the commercials for the movie? I mean, it's been out for a long time. The Shape of Water, where there's this woman who works in this secret underground base, and like forms a connection with this aquatic creature that people are. Some people. I just saw like 10 minutes of it while I was waiting on Hibachi to come out, but like yesterday, okay, and like it's this, zany plot, but like it's an actual actor sitting in an actual suit that like maybe the face was CGI because it moved quite a bit, but if it wasn't, that's even more impressive. But like, it's the old argument, like, why is Lord of the Rings more iconic than The Hobbit? Because they put more work into the Lord of the Rings. With like the orcs were actual people that were given makeup and prosthetics, whereas The Hobbit, it was almost 100% CGI.
Yeah. Okay.
It adds to the quality of the film. Yeah. It makes it more iconic.
To a point.
I sat there. I get like
Jurassic Park versus Jurassic World.
I remember when Jurassic Park when Lord of the Rings came out, I watched that as a kid over and over and over.
Yeah.
And I watched The Hobbit maybe twice.
Exactly.
All the way through.
Yeah.
It's a neat story, but it's just like, okay.
Yeah, they didn't put. It's like you can tell how much work they did in Lord of the Rings in comparison to The Hobbit. It's just you could just look at it.
Exactly.
It is very iconic, very iconic.
And Guillermo del Toro, that is his claim to fame, is his authenticity in the production of said films.
Okay.
He also came out with this movie that was like, I think it's in Spanish, but I still had to watch it, called like Labyrinth, or not Labyrinth, Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, I have not seen that. It looks really good.
So good. Yeah. It's so good. Even though, you have to read subtitles. I'm not a subtitle reader. So, dub, not sub. I don't care. But like, subtitles aside, this was a really awesome movie. Is in World War II. This little girl, her dad is like a general or something, and like she goes into like the mythical Pan, the faun, goes into his labyrinth, and he's like grotesque. Like, he's scary looking. And there's this creature like called the Watcher or something. Yeah. Like, it doesn't have any eyes on its face, but its eyes are in its palms, so it looks around like this.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And it's like
something out of Silent Hill.
And you've got this little girl who's like navigating all of this. It's so neat.
Yeah,
it's
pretty cool.
Guillermo del Toro did that, look into his stuff.
You saying something, Tyrel?
No, I was going to say, go ahead. I'll talk.
I was going to ask, this just came to mind when you were telling me about that movie. What is the movie? Kid goes to a library, gets this book, lays down like in the center of the place, reads it. Story movie takes place inside the book. Like, he's reading
it. Is it a cartoon?
No.
It sounds familiar.
Some kind of adventures. I know there's like a flying dog thing.
Never-ending story.
The never-ending story.
Never-ending story. I've been waiting for years for somebody to tell me the name of that.
I have been told that the book is way better.
Well,
of course,
we watched that. I think my sister read the book when we were young, and we watched that movie, and I remember like it scared me for some reason. But one part that stands out in my mind where I was like traumatized was like that gate that they had to walk through, and like only the chosen one could walk through, or whatever. And that guy, he's watching, and like that soldier-looking guy tries to walk through it and dies. Like, I don't want to scare me.
What about the horse? I remember some scene about a horse
I'll tell you this.
going through a marsh, and the horse dies.
Yep, that probably also freaked me out.
Well, I'll tell you the scene that freaked me out is whenever the kid encounters the wolf thing in its lair that he ends up like stabbing and killing.
I haven't watched it.
You haven't seen? You remember that?
I don't remember that particularly.
I'll look up the scene after we get done here and I'll show it to you. It's very freaky looking because, like, for its time anyway, you know, because I mean, it was what 90.
Yeah, it
early
looked like the Dark
90s.
Crystal. I mean, one of those type of feel like
Like a
puppet.
Jim
Okay,
Henson type.
it's like this werewolf kind of large wolf kind of warg, I guess, kind of looking thing is like in the shadows, and they made like its eyes like bright green with like the snake slits in it.
Yeah.
So it's like very creepy looking, you know, and you can kind of see its face, and it's
Yes.
like moving, and it has like this really gruff voice and stuff. It's like,
Yes,
oh my god,
I remember this. I need to see if this is on Hulu because I'm having like repressed memory recalls right now.
I haven't. I've only watched very little bits of the Neverending Story. I was just never really into it because I didn't like the whole puppeteer thing growing up.
that didn't really
It
bother
makes
me.
it freaky.
To me, it made it really freaky, and I just wasn't into it.
What's some other stuff that's got the puppet? I mean, I like the Muppets,
Yeah, of
like
course.
Kermit and all
course,
that.
No, I mean,
wouldn't-
Star Wars, the original Star Wars had
The
a lot
original
of puppets
Star
on it.
Wars
Yeah,
was puppet.
well, I'm not a Star Wars guy, and all the
love Star
nerds
Wars.
listening to this probably want to kill me right now. I'm not a Trek. I'm not a Star Trek guy either. I've never watched any kind of Star Trek.
Okay,
but Star Wars not a fan.
The original Star Trek, like it, new stuff.
Like the TV show.
What about the Next Generation with Jean-Luc Picard?
I haven't ever watched it, so I'm not gonna.
I've heard that Picard I've heard that Next Generation is amazing.
I've never watched it, so I'm not going to comment on that. But
I would go out on a limb and try the Next Generation.
it might be pretty good. But the original like old series
Yeah.
is pretty
Yeah.
good, even though some of it's cheesy as crap. Of
course,
Star Wars to me-
70s, man.
I got thrown off by the first movies. I think I might. I don't know. The first movies.
Like the first that came out or the first in the series?
No, the first actual movies. They threw me for a loop so bad just because it was so. I mean, it looked like they were flying like Lego creations around.
Absolutely.
Which I understand it was way before its time, but I hate to be that close minded about it. But I couldn't even follow the story. The second round of them with Darth Maul and all that, I liked those. Everybody says those are the bad ones.
No, everybody's retracted their statements on that because of the new trilogy.
new ones.
Yeah, and I actually
I
read an
only
article
watched
on
like
this.
one of them.
I read an article about this last night, and the reason that I guess a lot of its problems being that J.J. Abrams, the guy who directed Star Trek, the new Star Treks, he stepped in for Star Wars, and he established, first off, they played it too safe. They relied too much on the older characters in the first movie, and then killed Han Solo, and then after that, they hired this guy, Ryan Johnson, and Ryan Johnson just completely disregarded everything that happened in the previous movie, and it was too daring. They went out on too much of a limb, like gave Leia too many force powers, all of that stuff. And then the third one, they went back to J.J. Abrams to try to salvage the mess, and it was a dumpster fire.
That's the latest ones that came out.
Yeah.
Does
At the
anybody
end-
like them? I've never heard one good thing.
I
about
never
it.
even watched the third one.
Yeah.
I only watched the first one. Were you there when we went to the movies and watched that?
Hey,
thing?
listen, can I spoil it for you guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
The new ones. So
Spoiler alert.
The girl, the main character, Daisy Ridley, Rey. It turns out in the third movie they throw you this absolute curveball that she is Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter.
Yeah,
Okay.
I figured.
Oh, out of nowhere, they killed Snoke in the second
like
movie.
Dark Side. She's Dark Side.
Like she's the Dark Side Emperor's daughter.
Yeah,
But is she
Granddaughter.
still on?
She's on the light side of the Force because she's trained by Luke Skywalker. And the thing is, like, they threw that out of nowhere because they killed Snoke in the second movie and absolutely ended any kind of plot that there could have been with that. Okay. They could have gone further with it. And then at the end of the movie, somebody looks at her and says, "What's your name?" And, I mean, it was Rey Palpatine, but she goes, "Rey Skywalker." And everybody made a meme out of it, like, "My name is Rey Star Wars." Like stuff like that,
So that was just
okay.
It's a dumpster fire.
Here's my issue with 3 in particular, or was it 9? I guess now that. Okay, Palpatine should have been dead. He got blown up in the Death Star at the end of
He was cloned, is the thing.
that version of him right there. Is not a
If you
clone.
if
Yeah,
the
oh, you're
people
right, you're
listening
right.
That is
could
not a
see
clone.
the commitment and just the. I don't even know how to explain the look that was just on Anthony's face.
If my wife listened to this, she would tell you it's the same face I made when she made me wake up on a Saturday and we went to Dollar General to buy groceries, and I was picking out toothpaste, and I picked out I picked out one that was just about the exact same, and it was $1 more. She goes, "So what's the difference in these two?" And I just didn't want to have it because it was early Saturday. I just wanted to sleep. I said, I don't know. It's a better product. It had to be the same. It had to be the same face that I gave him. She won't let me live that down. But anyways, he should have been dead from the explosion of the Death Star.
Yes, the Death Star. He should have been dead from that. Straight off, right there. Never should have brought him back. Should have had Snoke, but I see why, because of the whole 8. That being the
Knights
issue.
of Ren or what?
Well, them killing Snoke off. was
Oh
a
yeah,
mistake.
in 8. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
That was a mistake because
provided no backstory for him.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if they were going to go with it, cool. But like, okay, let's make a memorable villain that we're just going to kill.
I think The Mandalorian kind of references Snoke in a couple of places. that
Oh, does
series.
it?
Yeah.
Is Mandalorian any good?
Oh,
I've heard that
it is.
amazing.
It is amazing, my dude. It is
Is
absolutely.
it a completely different story than Star Wars?
It's in the same universe. It takes. Here's the thing. And this was in that same article that I read while the trilogy crashed and burned, but while the Mandalorian is doing so well, because they're doing something new. They're taking these two characters that are based off of fan favorites, that being Boba Fett and Yoda. Those are two fan favorites, and they're taking their likeness and kind of going in a new direction with it. You know, it's just like you hear about Jedi, but you don't. You know, Ahsoka Tano makes an appearance in the newer season. It's tying things together, but also forging its own path.
Do you have to
It's a
watch the
space
movies
western.
to understand it?
Ahsoka.
That's hard.
Ahsoka is from the animated Clone Wars. Series.
Clone Wars,
Yeah,
which
and
is
the-
amazing.
And the Rebels.
Tyrell, have you
reference-
watched
she
these
made
things,
it-
or do you just know this?
I haven't watched the Clone Wars series. which
I love Clone Wars.
I've heard like it's really, really
I'll
good.
tell you right now. If you
Feels
have,
so out of place.
if you have Netflix, if you have Disney Plus, watch the Clone Wars because they did so well with it.
I watch a lot of stuff that makes the connections make sense, on YouTube. So
Yeah, he's watched like 20-minute.
You know the whole
hour-long
story
videos.
because some guy did his analysis or whatever.
yeah, but like it's like an hour-long analysis of like the whole storyline or something.
I've watched Clone Wars twice and I don't regret it.
It looks like it's good. And
It makes Anakin Skywalker such a. I prefer the voice actor for Anakin more than I do the actor who played Anakin. Not to disparage him at all, because Hayden Christensen, sure, he's a great actor. I love the movie Jumper that he was in, all of that. But like,
you mean it's not like sand? It's irritating and it gets everywhere.
I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough. It gets everywhere. He put on this British accent. I don't know if he did or not, but I just wanted to do that.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You would have to watch. It's episode 2 of the new
Attack of the Clones.
The third one, the third
No.
trilogy, the
No.
newest ones.
No. It's the middle
The
trilogy.
2000s.
The ones that came out when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember there was banners of Darth Maul in Walmart, and it was scary because I did not like it.
That was episode 1.
Yeah.
Which,
Either
by
way.
the way, Darth Maul comes back in the Clone Wars. You need to watch it.
Yeah.
They developed him so much. Oh man. Oh,
And then they brought him into the Solo movie at the
which
end
was
of it.
terrible.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
so stupid.
I hated Solo because it was so boring. It was
didn't watch
so
Solo
boring. Don't waste
I'm
your
just
time.
not a Star Wars. I'm not a Star Wars
Rogue
guy.
One?
Rogue One, best.
Yeah.
Best thing to come out of Disney getting
Rogue One.
Star Wars.
It's a
the
story.
Mandalorian and Rogue One. And also, I mean, season 7 of Clone Wars was really good.
Rogue One takes place in between what happens. Like it kind of
It
explains.
butts right up against A New Hope,
Yeah.
the very first Star Wars movie that came out.
Actually, the end of that movie actually takes place as that's happening.
Yep.
That Darth Vader scene of him entering that shuttle at where they cut the hole through that door is amazing.
That's why it was so awesome. They created new characters, and they had this whole plot that was amazing and referenced Darth Vader in it, and then had Darth Vader in action. That's what sold the movie, was Darth Vader. You got to see him ripping through people like he didn't care, because he didn't.
It is amazing.
Because he was about to start his journey of self-discovery through Luke. He didn't know about Luke and Leia at the time.
Ladybug.
He saw Ladybug for reference, folks. We might cut this out.
You know what is a good space movie?
If you say
The Martian.
The Martian.
Oh, Matt Damon.
Also Interstellar.
I was going to bring up a space series that I actually got into recently on Netflix. Lost in Space.
I want to watch it.
It's good. It's really, really good.
I watched the movie back when I don't know.
Actually, somebody lost in space.
It's like
It's
the
about
old series.
there's an old series from the 70s called Lost in Space. It's like the
Are they
Robinsons.
remaking
the
it?
Robinsons.
The Family Robinson.
The Swiss Family Robinson in space.
Close.
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of.
See, whenever I was a kid, you guys probably won't remember this. But when I was a
Jetsons?
kid, there was this movie that came out that, I mean, of course, this was during the hype when they made little action figures for every single action or any movie that had any measure of action that came out in it. Lost in Space was one of them, and I mean, it goes through this plot. And the guy who played Joey from Friends, Matt LeBlanc,
Yeah.
he played the security officer. And at one point, you had these little spider monsters jumping around, and like he's like, "Everybody, go, go!" And like he turns around, pulls his gun up, and like this big metal thing.
You're
like,
talking about
comes-
the one that they made like around like 99 or 2000,
something like that. Yeah.
I watched that one.
Okay, yeah. And
Gary
like he
Oldman's
turns
in it?
around, and it's like this bad A scene where he like turns around and he's shooting stuff, and like this metal armor just goes and goes all around him, so he can't get attacked. And he's just like, and I like whenever I saw that as a kid, I was like, that is fire. That is lit. That.
You just didn't know those words would be used like that at that time.
Yeah, that can light my candle any time of day. Okay. Whenever I saw that, and I was just like, Joey, he's doing it, man. He's making it happen. Make this man sign a contract for 6 more movies just like this. I was probably 8 years old.
And you thought all of that.
No, not really, but you know, now
It's
that
like,
I can,
whoa, man.
I thought that was the coolest thing.
You know what's also a great movie? Possibly low key, my favorite movie of all time. Low key. I'm talking low key here. Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Never seen it.
Dude, you talk about this often.
Have I said this before?
I don't know about
Not
on the podcast, not on the pod here, but like I've heard you mention Secret Life.
Let me
of
tell you
Walter.
something. That is a life changing movie.
My wife will never watch it.
Why?
She absolutely hates Ben Stiller.
Why?
With a passion.
Why, though?
Wants to punch him in the face.
Why? What did he do?
I think she just thinks he's stupid and has a stupid face.
That's a terrible reason to not like somebody.
Well, you know, when you want to tell my pregnant wife that, go ahead.
I'll tell her any day. I'll tell her to listen to this when it comes out. Haley, you need to watch
I don't know if she's going to listen to
Secret
it.
Life of Walter Mitty. I'm saying you go find this moment of this podcast. You play it for her so I can tell her.
I mean, she would listen to you, AJ. She just wouldn't take your advice.
And you wouldn't. Well, you can. Have you not watched Secret Life of Walter?
I haven't either.
Neither one of you have watched Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Okay, well, you know,
Is he like...
we're done here.
Wait, is this the one where he sees himself in like a magazine and lives that adventure and then actually wants to go out and do...
Yeah, you've obviously seen a trailer.
Yeah.
I've seen the
No,
trailer.
that's not what it's not what it looks like. He's a guy. Now here's a guy. Here's a guy that works for Time Magazine.
That's it.
Time Magazine going out of business. Okay, they're going down.
Okay.
They're going like online or something. Anyway, now here's a guy, Ben Stiller's character, Walter Mitty, who hasn't really experienced much in life. He's just kind of down. He's a boring guy. He's never done anything. And like he spaces out in everyday life, just like sees a picture of like somebody doing something. He's like, man, that could be me.
Yeah.
And like that whole scene crashes around him in these brilliant visuals and stuff that they've put into this movie. And then all of a sudden he snaps back to reality. And the reason he's having these like space out moments is because he's never actually experienced anything. And he's just like, it's the secret life of Walter Mitty, because like nobody really knows this guy. Like he's just this boring guy that there's this totally awesome guy that takes pictures for Time magazine. He sends them to Ben Stiller's character, and he like develops the photos and puts them in the magazine. That's all he does. So here's a guy out here in the world that's like taking pictures of volcanoes and stuff, and then here's a guy that's doing all the work for him, not doing anything fun in a dark room developing photos.
John Madden, everybody. John Madden.
That's a terrible John Madden. Here's a guy. Have you ever heard what's his name do the
Frank Caliendo?
Yes.
Yeah.
If the quarterback throws the ball into the end zone and the receiver catches it,
Boom.
that's going to be a touchdown.
Anytime.
anyway.
Yeah.
Walter Mitty, he ends up, the photographer guy has sent him a picture, supposedly, that is going to be the last cover of Time magazine, okay? It's because they're going out of business or whatever.
Right.
Sends it to him. They can't find the picture. It's number whatever. This one's not in here. And meanwhile, Derek from Step Brothers has come in because he's like going to be the coordinator of like the company takeover or whatever. And he plays basically the exact same character as Derek from Step Brothers, but as like a business executive.
Like a serious role.
Yeah, so it's the same kind of thing.
Not singing "Sweet Child of Mine."
No, but not serious. He's like a complete jerk. It's the exact same. Like he's making fun of Walter Mitty and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, Walter Mitty can't find this picture. Ends up like, I'm gonna have to go find this guy, or like this magazine is not gonna make it. You know, like we're not gonna get this last picture. I'm gonna get fired and not get any money and all this stuff. So he goes on this whirlwind adventure around the world, tracking down this photographer who doesn't have a phone, like old school guy. Ends up finding him like in the mountains of Tibet or something, trying to take pictures of a snow leopard. Anyway, it takes him forever to find him. Like he grows out a beard, and he's like just going on this adventure that he's never had in his life. And then he kind of finds himself through that. And the visuals are insane. The music is great. The plot is insane. It ends up. Spoiler alert. No, I'm not. If you haven't seen this, I can't tell you. I don't even know that you're going to go watch this.
Probably won't.
It's just the defining moment of the whole movie. Okay.
Tell me.
They have this relationship. The photographer guy and Ben Stiller's character have a relationship. They've never met each other, but they just have this relationship. This guy takes in great pictures. Ben Stiller makes sure they look great and makes sure they get on the magazine every single time. He always does it. And so they just like they're kind of pen paling it. This is the photo or whatever. He sends him the last roll of pictures, and the one's not in there. Well, he also sent him a wallet, like just as a gift, like, hey, here's to the last magazine or whatever. Ends up, he put the negative of the photo that he needed was in the wallet the whole time, and he left the wallet back at home. And he finds him in the mountains of Tibet or wherever it is. It's probably not Tibet. And he's like, I can't find the picture. And they're sitting up there trying to be quiet because he's trying to take a picture of this snow leopard. Yeah. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, I put it in the wallet. He's like, what? He was like, yeah, I put it in the wallet. I thought it'd be cute. And he was like, why would you do that? And he was like, do you realize what I've had to go through and all this? Anyway, goes back home, finds the picture, and then the Derek from Step Brothers guys, like being a big jerk about it, ends up the picture for the last Time magazine is a picture of Walter Mitty, like looking at negative photos. Like that was the final. I mean, is that not just wholesome?
That's a wholesome.
It'll hit you right in the heartstrings every time.
Yeah.
And that's what fires me up about the whole movie. Like, he was forced to go on this adventure that like he needed for his life, and really didn't even have to go on it. And then he gets his reward at the end because the guy is like,
He's the Time.
He
magazine
is Time
guy.
magazine, right? Yeah.
Dadgum.
So good, such a great movie.
That's good.
You got to watch it.
Yeah, I feel like I have to.
It's great. It's funny.
Haley will not laugh at Ben Stiller. She will not laugh at Ben Stiller.
Has she ever watched a movie with Ben Stiller in it?
Yeah.
What?
That's why she doesn't like him.
What movie?
I don't know.
What is he even in?
Night at the Museum.
Oh, Night at the
She
Museum.
hated.
Does anybody? Do y'all get Ben Stiller and Steve Carell confused?
No,
I always cross them up.
I would never do that.
They're nothing alike.
Steve Carell is like our generation's crap. Why can't I think of it? Steve Martin.
No.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin is an abomination.
Oh my. Okay, this is
Steve
this
Martin
what
is
sends me over the
not
edge.
funny.
This is where I kill AJ. I'm sorry,
What? Tell me
Quincy. It was nice knowing you, but
Tell me one funny thing Steve Martin's ever done.
first off, okay, the guy. Have you seen The Jerk?
No.
He as a stand-up. Okay, that's why you've never seen The Jerk.
Won't watch it if it's got Steve Martin in it.
See, there you
What
go.
instrument does he play?
The banjo,
Yeah,
the most hilarious of all instruments.
Right. That's what you play if you're trying too hard to be funny.
No, he's talented, man. He's in a banjo group of folks that was on Jay Leno one night.
All they play is banjos.
Yeah, and they do amazing.
I can't imagine anything more annoying.
He
than
takes it serious, man. He's
don't
not
like-
playing
I don't-
it for kicks.
I don't
He's
like
playing it because
Steve
he
Martin.
enjoys it. Please, for the love of all that is holy, before you cast off Steve Martin as an abomination, watch The Jerk.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give it a chance.
I mean, he has some of his stand-up bits, like whenever he did stand-up. One
ahead.
second.
Yeah,
Whenever he did stand-up, he'd always end a set the same way. He would, and it was in the 70s, so I was like, you might have heard this joke since it's dawn, but he'd be like, well, all right, then I'm leaving, and I don't need anything or any one of you except this glass. I need this glass and maybe this bowl. And he'd take stuff from the audience members' tables or whatever and walk out the door, and he goes, and I don't need anything else either. And he'd leave, and it was hilarious. And
You're literally explaining all the reasons I don't think he's funny right now, just by telling me that one thing.
that one joke.
That sickened me. Just picturing that. This guy who he thinks he's funny, Anthony.
No,
is
he
what
doesn't
it
think
is.
he's funny. He's hilarious. He's a comedic genius. And if it wasn't for him, there would be so many things that would not be here today.
Tyrel, input.
God.
I'm trying to think. He was in
Nothing funny.
Father.
Nothing any good.
Father of the Bride.
Yeah, he was funny in that. I thought that was actually a pretty funny
You ask
movie.
anybody over 40 right now, ask him if Steve Martin is funny. They will emphatically say, yes,
Yeah,
Steve
they call
Martin.
him Funny Man Steve Martin.
I don't know who calls him that.
I've heard that before. Funny
Well,
Man
I feel like
Steve-
you've made that up
Funny
just
Man.
to hate this guy.
No, me and my sister used to say that because we'd make fun of him because she doesn't like him either, I don't think.
Well, her favorite 80s band is Bon Jovi, so like I'm not
Really?
Yeah. I think. I don't know.
One time she was here like over Christmas or something, me and my mom were gone, came in the house and she was playing The Doors.
Dude, she's gotten out there. Get her out of
Who
here.
listens to The Doors?
I mean, I'm not saying this about your sister, of course, but like I know several stoners that listen to The Doors.
Well, I can imagine if you're stoned, it probably sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Jim Morrison.
The organ is way too much.
Oh man. Jim Morrison thought that he was haunted, or not haunted, but possessed by the spirit of a Native American man. Did you know that? No. I learned that from a stoner that really was delved deep into Jim Morrison.
I mean, I just don't know how you can play an organ that much and think it sounds good.
I mean, ask Kansas. Carry on my
They
wayward son.
play it well, though. That's a good organ sound.
There's a lot of organ in that song.
On Carry On My Wayward Son?
They had an organ solo.
I'm not really,
in that song.
yeah, it's true. I'm not a big organ guy, but The Doors on
Just for clarification.
What's that? Come on, baby, light my fire. That is one of the worst songs ever made.
Okay, well, I mean, you can say that with some sort of expertise. I will say I don't exactly agree because there are songs like Gucci Gang that exist.
That's also terrible. Yeah,
But like,
Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
have you seen the meme about like the new World War III? It shows Gen Z, getting into helicopters, flying over the fields, the rice fields of Vietnam. Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
I mean, yeah, I think did Cameron send that. I think Cameron sent
Well,
that. in the
it was
group.
some kind of meme, that he sent, but it was like something along the lines of,
And it was, I mean, that was funny. And like,
Flying over
it
the rice
was,
paddies of Vietnam.
and it was pretty legit.
He said
too.
something about like a Gen Z or like shoots him, and like as he falls, like he starts doing a Fortnite
Fortnite
dance
dance.
over his corpse, and then yeets his corpse into a bush nearby.
Yeah. No, see,
mean, that's-
it's awesome to actually picture that. Like,
I mean, yeah,
That's what
just
would happen.
to reimagine the movie Full Metal Jacket in this day and age. You know, instead of
Yeah.
like, how can you shoot women and children? I don't know, fam. Maybe just lead them a little bit, squeeze the trigger.
I don't know, fam. I don't know, bro. Do
You over here flossing, brah?
Do you know Trey Kennedy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that guy's funny. Have you seen like
I feel
him
like-
imitating middle schoolers?
I haven't, but before we get into that, I think I've pinpointed AJ's comedy scheme that he seeks after. It's wholesome. AJ likes wholesome comedy.
No, I mean, I don't know why I would take offense to that. Like, that.
No, I'm not trying to.
Is
offend
Steve
you.
Martin not clean or something?
It's. I mean, I don't know if he's not clean or anything, but like, some of his stuff is iffy. But like,
Well, I'm not judging Steve Martin by that. I've never listened to
I
a
know,
Steve Martin.
I know,
stand-up
yeah,
routine.
right. Which
Like
confuses
Kevin
me.
Hart. Kevin Hart is hilarious. Some of his stuff is off color, and
Yeah.
Kevin Hart is one of the funniest people alive. Really is.
Okay. Listen.
Do you not think so? Is he not the type of guy you think's funny? Me and you have completely different senses of humor, and I don't know how we can sit here and laugh about stuff together. I don't get it.
I mean, there are things that we jive on though. Like AJ sent a text the other day because Seth had told us. Seth had told us, he's like, "Hey, listen, we have COVID." And I was like, "Hey, man, I'll be praying for you." And like AJ,
that wasn't all you said, Anthony. You said something else.
I kept.
You said something fairly dramatic.
Did
like,
I?
Hey, y'all are gonna get through this. Like, you just hang
Yeah,
tough.
yeah. I mean, no, I was just trying to be reassuring because I didn't want them to think that I was like worried or anything.
Yeah.
that was me trying to be, like.
It was making it seem like you were worried.
I'm sorry it read that way. That's not at all. I was like, oh, don't worry about it. That's the vibe that I was putting off was, don't worry about it. You guys are going to get through this. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Because I felt like I was making them worry more, But AJ goes, AJ texts Anthony Anthony adding Seth and Cynthia to the group chat. All right, guys, I'm asking for a miracle here. And
Hey guys, I got some friends that really need a miracle right now.
that was it. And I lost.
I'm just gonna call my pastor real quick. hey, pastor.
Listen,
I got some friends that just
they're in dire straits, Pastor.
they're
They're walking through the valley of the shadow of death. I want you to know, like, we need to pray about them in Tuesday meeting, Wednesday night, Sunday night.
Because right now it's really just we're waiting for a miracle.
It's touch and go.
It's touch and go.
Like that's I was like, why would AJ think that I was putting out? Like I was like, that's so hilarious because, I mean, I could see myself doing that, but I was like,
Yeah, and then you came back with the humble thing, which was even funny.
no, I felt like I was tacking on to your funny, huh? But yeah, for people who don't know, I was a stupid teenager, absolutely stupid. We went on this mission trip, and I was like, everybody was getting up and standing, and I felt like pressure to say something in the mic, and I was like, listen, guys, I just felt the Lord really speaking to me about this thing. He's telling us to be humble. I had went up there to the microphone, made a spectacle of myself so that I could tell these people to be humble. And I was just like, okay. And if Seth hadn't pointed that out, I would have thought, oh, I just did a great thing. Pat's for Anthony, And
Well, how do you tell people to be humble without?
You don't. You don't. But like, no. There's an emotional exchange. Whenever you feel like somebody needs to be humble, you first off you determine if you're the person to tell them that.
Yeah.
And if you are the person to tell them that, then you tell them in the easiest way possible. You're just like from me to like Haley. we're husband and wife. We have discussions about this, and I would approach that like, listen, Haley, I know this thing is really tough to deal with. Take this for what you will, and be mad at me if you want, but you may need to be a little bit more humble about it.
So was that all you said? Was it?
That's not how I said it. I said it, and Seth probably took it the way that it was intended to be put out because, like I said, I was a stupid teenager. But he goes,
It can't be what you meant, though.
it wasn't. No. I mean, I had felt deep within me like the Lord was calling me to be humble.
Yeah.
And I felt like expressing that to everybody. Instead, it came out like, so I've been talking with God, and he's telling all you guys to be humble like me. That's how it came off, and I don't doubt for a second that it did come out like that. But like, yeah, that's where the whole humble thing comes from.
If we ever reference that, that's
Yeah.
what it's from.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And that's what I referenced in the text message. I was like, hey, Cap G, it's me, Anthony. Praying for my friends here, and I know you're listening because I'm extremely humble.
Oh.
Man, we've had wild times.
Man. Anyway, yeah, we were saying, I don't know how we sit here and laugh about the same stuff when
Oh man, it's
our senses of humor are that different. What, Tyrel, what is your sense of humor? I don't even know what your sense of humor is. You think stuff's funny that I think's funny.
I mean,
gaming culture.
I mean, it's not particularly dark. You never know what Tyrell's just going to really think is funny. I never have
Oh
figured
my
it
gosh,
out.
and he says things. Tyrell is a very matter of fact, like dry person. You know?
Yeah.
So like when he says something, it's hilarious.
That is true. But what about that time that Peyton locked me into that little closet thing and then was playing Twist by Korn underneath the door, and you thought that was hilarious?
I don't remember that. When was that?
On the mission trip this last year when we were staying in that house, and I locked myself. I was trying to sleep, and I locked myself inside that little storage room, and Peyton was spraying all that hairspray in there with me, trying to choke me out.
He was playing Twist?
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. I remember spraying all the stuff in there. I just remember playing that music. I don't. Twist. Okay, I guess I couldn't hear it because it was on the other side of the door.
Okay,
That's what it was.
Malachi said you were laughing really hard.
I was laughing because of the fact of what he was doing out there. He's just being
He had
stupid.
an aerosol can of hairspray, spraying it into an enclosed area where I was.
Dude, Peyton could make, I mean, he could make the Pope laugh, dude.
No, he could. Yeah.
He's wild. He's hilarious.
You never know what he's gonna do.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that kid in like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, that's sad. I need to get him on the pod or something. He was texting me today. He every now and then, out of the blue, he will text some group message that he's been in at some point. He sends one to me, Malachi, and Hans. Some song. It says, Hans, I think this song's right up your alley. I was like, Peyton, dude, out of left field. What are you doing? He was like, hey. And then he said, what did he? Oh yeah, he said, I really enjoyed watching Tyrel get whipped by that West boy in the 5th edition face-off. Apparently he watched that.
Boy. Oh boy.
He said
He actually watched that.
Yeah. He said, I enjoyed watching Tyrel get whipped by that West boy.
Oh my gosh, that's
And he didn't say, I watched your video, nothing like that. That was all he said. And I was like, I sat there and just stared at my phone. I was like, what is he talking about? And then I finally figured it out.
oh my gosh, dude.
That West boy.
That's the most. That's what he does though. He says the most random, stupid things that are just hilarious.
Hey, and you could call him right now and him not answer. And you could call him tomorrow and him not answer, and call him every 5 minutes for 2 weeks and him not answer, and then 3 weeks later you'll get a text, just some random thing. You just never know where he's going to pop up at or what he's going to be doing.
I want to call him and act like some foreign person trying to sell his car warranty or extend his car's warranty.
Yeah, well, he'll hang up. Speaking of that, though, have you ever watched, I don't know what his name is, he's on YouTube. He, scam bait guy. Watched one the other day.
Where he was an old lady?
Yeah, and he was calling him Pralad. Yeah. And he was getting her
I
back.
was talking to Pralad last night. No, ma'am.
I'm not Pralad. I'm Kevin.
Yeah, that's it.
He was on the phone with him for like 2 hours or longer.
Yeah, act like he went to Walmart to the Western Union to wire him money.
And meanwhile, he was remote access to the dude's computer, deleting all of his files.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Best thing I've ever watched. I watched the whole
gosh.
video.
Yeah. And
funny.
was like, you're trying to steal money from me. And absolutely demolished this dude and was like having the dude plead with him, please, ma'am, I'm so sorry. Please give me my files back. And she's like, you're not sorry.
I'm so-and-so, so-and-so. I have a certain set of skills.
Dude.
I can't remember what he said. His name was Victoria something. It was 4 names.
Yeah.
You messed with the wrong woman. I have a certain set of skills. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, man. What else we got to cover next? I mean, I think we've covered everything.
I mean, we pretty much have. I mean, we covered the campaign.
Skyrim for a good 45
We always end up talking
piece.
about Skyrim. I'm sorry, people. We talk about Skyrim a lot.
Hey, it's a great game.
See?
Probably
That's
the people listening know we're going to talk about Skyrim, and they enjoy listening to us talk about Skyrim.
I think one reason we talk about Skyrim so much is because it's so D&D like. Probably.
Yeah, true.
Possibly.
Yeah, we always reference Skyrim. Just like we always reference SpongeBob and Lord of the Rings.
I'll straight up tell you right now, though, the most D&D-like game that I've played is Final Fantasy 15.
Oh.
Because there's dungeons, because there's D&D monsters in it.
There's Dungeons and Dragons.
I haven't seen a dragon yet.
Oh.
They're all mind flayers and stuff, right?
There's mind flayers, there's bullets.
So is this one more like medieval-ish or something?
No.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Drive around in like a Rolls-Royce looking car. It's freaking sweet.
What is this game?
Final Fantasy 15.
You drive around in a car? I thought it was like a anime.
Well, I mean,
it is.
if we were playing in the Eberron setting right now, you have lightning trains and all sorts of tank-like vehicles.
futuristic like that?
This
It's
one,
more
here's the thing.
steampunky
Here's the
kinda.
thing about Final Fantasy 15. I can transform, or I can customize my car to be a monster truck, to where it can go off road. And of course, you can go off road on the car when it doesn't have monster truck tires, but you can damage your car, and have to get it repaired, have to get it towed, and all
You got to
that.
have more ground clearance to go off-road.
But what I also have right now, currently, in my bag of tricks,
Is my car can fly. I can take off in it like a jet whenever I want.
Tyrel perked up at that. He loves stuff that flies and that's invisible.
The thing is, and there's this one dungeon. It's the hardest dungeon in the game. There's no monsters in it at all.
So you're driving around in a car, crawling through dungeons.
Basically, you're also meeting these things called they're like gods, basically, and you can summon them. One's name is Titan. One's name is Rama. Titan is of earth. Rama is of lightning, sky. But the one that I absolutely love is Leviathan. And it shows you the scale of these monsters to your person. And there's also Shiva, who is this ice, goddess, and then Ifrit, who's a fire god. And Ifrit, he's evil.
Of course it is.
What is that based off of?
Ifrit are they're one of the race of the genies in D&D that are the fire genies, and they are evil. They're lawful evil.
1 second. I'm going to show you a scale of Leviathan to a person. Oh, crap.
It's a strange game.
Yeah, oh man, but it's so cool.
I seen in the Demon Souls trailer, that one of the newer ones they released.
Yeah.
There's actually a creature, I guess in this laboratory type thing you have to go through in one part of it, that is very, very mind flayer like. Like they even have the whole tentacles and octopus head and everything, they use like a sonic blast type thing, like paralyze you for a few seconds, and they'll run over there to you and like grab you and like suck your face into their tentacles and start eating your face off. Yeah, they're just like mind flayers.
That's terrible. Oh man, I'm glad things like that don't actually exist in this realm anyway.
Have you seen the trailer for Baldur's Gate 3? That one where the guy goes through like an advanced form of ceramorphosis?
No.
I'll look that up and I'll show that to you guys in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to. I'll have to show you what this looks like.
What, Final Fantasy?
Yeah, what Leviathan looks like.
Oh, okay.
In person. Like, I'll have to show you here in just a minute because I'm just so engrossed in it right now.
Well, anyway.
Are
we shutting this thing down?
Yeah, I reckon it's about that time. My wife has texted me 6 times about how I lied.
Oh, what did you say?
I said, I won't be there long. I'll be home by 7 probably.
Here it is 8 o'clock.
Here it is 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we're at 2:43.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so we're signing off. This was a bit of a extended episode because we're not going to be putting anything out for a while.
Right, but listen, guys, if there's... How do they contact us, AJ? They comment on our videos on Facebook? Do they?
Yeah, they can go to Facebook. What are we on Facebook? The Commoners. And at Commoners Official, if you search that, you'll find us. Also on Instagram, at the Commoners Official.
Can they DM us?
They can send us a DM on Instagram.
Absolutely. Listen, guys, if there's something you would like us to bring up during our Say It in Common, during Common Life, on the consoles, Seth's Movie Minute, or during the Commoners campaign, if you have any questions about keeping it common, any of these topics, you give us a DM.
Fire it in.
We are open to our listeners. We want to hear from you guys. What do you want to hear from us? Because we're just a bunch of burnouts.
Yeah, we're just like chilling.
Yeah,
Cold chilling.
Yeah. New boot goofing
all the time. But you can also, if you are a patron for Tiger Skull RPG, you can talk on the Tiger Skull Discord, and Seth's on there. So you can talk to Seth directly if you would like.
Absolutely.
Not trying to, what do you call that? Like commandeer the Tiger Skull Discord, but
no, of course not.
I'm trying to get Tiger Skull RPG some business by saying, hey,
check him out.
Seth's on the Discord.
Yeah.
You still have to pay. So anyway, go support Tiger Skull RPG on Patreon and look at their stuff. Preferably Instagram. Go give them a follow. And also give us a follow. And go check us out on YouTube if you haven't already at the Commoners Official on there. Or, no, we're just the Commoners on there. But go check out 5th Edition Face Off. We should have round 2 coming soon. 6 classes left. Who will be the last one standing?
The way to close it.
That's it.
Hey, y'all. Take care. Be safe. We love you.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.